All right, so we give praise, esteem, and honor to the living Elohim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. And we're going to pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 9. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you would not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. If another come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I would accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, of whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Let's go to Proverbs 27:18. Looking real fro. Is that a Norbert fro? Is that an Isaiah fro? What kind of fro is it? What kind of afro that is? Your name wasn't? Or you just felt left out? It's okay if you felt left out. What kind of afro is it? Oh, I don't know what he said. Proverbs 27:18. Whoso keep the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof. So he that wait on his master shall be honored. Shalom, brother Brennan, man. So we did Songs of Solomon 4, right? We need to do Songs of Solomon 8. Was it 8 that I desire? Because we do want to talk about some stuff with the garden. But while we ponder upon that, shalom, brother Mike. Ain't no just in my brain. Oh yeah, Isaiah 51:3.
For Yahuwah shall comfort Zion, he will comfort all her waste places, and he will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert
make a wilderness like what?
Like Eden.
Make a wilderness like what?
Like Eden, and her desert like the garden of Yahuwah. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody.
Thanksgiving and what?
In the voice of melody.
Thanksgiving and what?
The voice of melody.
Come on.
Hearken unto me, my people, give ear unto me, O my nation. For a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people.
Mm-hmm.
My righteousness near, my salvation is going forth, and my arm shall judge the people. The isles shall wait upon me, and on my arm shall they trust.
Mm-hmm.
Lift up your eyes to Shamahim and look upon the earth beneath. For Shamahim shall vanish away like smoke.
That's good. I want you to say, what he say he gonna make Jerusalem like?
Like Eden.
Like Eden. What was in Eden? The tree of life. That's what was in Eden. We want Songs of Solomon chapter 5. Songs of Solomon 5:1. Let's start right there.
I am coming to my garden, my sister, spouse. I have gathered.
Coming to my what?
My garden.
Coming to my what?
My garden.
What else?
My sister's spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice.
I've eaten my what?
Honeycomb with my honey.
I drunk my what?
Wine with my milk.
Eat, O friends.
Drink, yea, drink abundantly, O beloved.
Pause. What you think this could be telling you? Hey, you walking? You a walking baby? Well, let's take a look at each thing. He said, I've come into my garden. I've gathered my myrrh and my spice. Tell them what myrrh and spice is. Shalom, brother Ella. Shalom, Quran, man. Come here, Joanne. That's a Bobby.
Myrrh is more. That's myrrh. Or, yeah, myrrh.
Spice.
That's balsam. That's spice or balsam. Sweet, a sweet smell, a sweet odor.
A sweet what?
Odor.
Now that take you back what we kept referencing in Ephesians 5, did it not? Let's reference it again. Ephesians 5:1. So the reason why that's important, when he come into his garden, he want to gather together a sweet smelling savor. That's what he wants.
Say, be you therefore followers of Elohim as dear children, walk in love.
As dear what?
As dear children.
As dear what?
Dear children.
Now pause for a second, man. Psalms 2:1. Again, we still talking about it. If we talking about it, fourth is eating the fig tree. It's really two things that are being discussed: a garden and fig tree, and that's garden, faith, and love. Because he just said walk in dear love. We kind of focused on love more so last night, but faith is interspersed with that. At least today it will be. Come on with it, man.
Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Make it 2:7. You don't need verse 1. That's my bad.
I will declare the decree. Yahuwah has said unto me, you, my son, this day have I begotten you.
This day have I what?
Begotten you.
I've what?
Begotten you.
Now, let's go to 1 John 5:1. Because I talked about it towards the end last evening, as far as in regards to your seed and how valuable your seed is.
Whosoever believe that Yahushua is the Mashiach is born of Elohim, and everyone that
Shalom,
that love him, that begat love also, that is begotten of him.
Read it again.
Whosoever believe that Yahushua is the Mashiach is born of Elohim, and everyone that love him, that begat love him, also
Everybody
that is begotten of him.
love him is begotten of him who begat him. If you love the Son, that means you love the Father. There's no way that that's going to happen if you say you a son of God. It's impossible. You know what I'm talking about? And you know what set the Son apart from everybody else? Let's just look at something real quick, like Matthew 17:1. And we come right back over here to 1 John chapter 5. What you talking about, Bobby? Bobby.
After 6 days, Yahushua took Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bring them up into a high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto him Moses and Elijah talking with him. Then answered Peter and said unto Yahushua, Master, is it good for us to be here? If you will, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, this is my beloved son. And
this is my what?
Beloved son.
And who I'm what?
Well pleased.
Now, why would he be well pleased in his son? Don't Hebrews 5 say that he learned obedience from the things that he suffered? See, the level of trust that the son had in the father is what made him beloved and made him well pleased. Read 1 John 5:1 one more time.
Whosoever believes that Yahushua the Mashiach is born of Elohim, and everyone that loved him that begat.
Hold on, read it again.
Whosoever believes that Yahushua the Mashiach is born of Elohim, and everyone that loved him that begat, love him also that is begotten of him.
If you don't believe in the Son of God, boy, you're not a God. You just take that and you can feel how you want to feel about it. I read this because I feel like it. John 7:37. Stop it, or you getting down. Matter of fact, go to your mom. Go to your mom.
In the last day, that great of the feast, Yahushua stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believe on me, as the scriptures have said.
What?
That believe on me, as the scriptures have said.
Believe on me as what?
As the scriptures have said.
What gonna happen to his belly?
Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
What are you talking about?
But this spake he of the Ruach, which they that believe on him should receive. For the Ruach HaKadosh was not yet, because the Yahushua was not yet esteemed.
Now go and give him Psalms 40:4 on general principle.
Baruch that man that make
Bless
Yahuwah
that
his
man
trust.
that make Yahuwah his what?
His trust.
Make Yahuwah his what?
His trust.
Okay.
And respect not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies.
And what else?
Many, O Yahuwah, my Elohim, your wonderful works you have done, and your thoughts are to us word, they cannot be reckoned up in order unto you. I will declare and speak, they are more than can be numbered. Sacrifice and offering you did not desire. My ears have you opened, burnt offering and sin offering have you not required. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book written of me.
You know, I heard a stupid nigga last night say, yeah, man, you know, can't nobody die for your sins. Why David got killed David's son got killed for what he did. David's son didn't die because of his sin. David's son died because of sin. David's son didn't die to replace David dying. This is what I be meaning when table. A lot of people don't be knowing what they were talking about. We just heard a man say Abraham ain't had no law because Moses wasn't around yet. I said, oh, that's bad. That's terrible. That's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've talked about it before, and we're going to talk about it again. What's the 2 places you would look at for you to know that Abraham had the word? There's 2 places in the law you can look at for you to know that Abraham, because if Abraham had it, then you know Isaac and Jacob had it. And what are those 2 places in the law that you can look at to know that Abraham had the word? I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a lot of brothers believe that ain't nobody had a law until Sinai. I say, boy, so what did he flood the earth for then, nigga? Because they had to be violating something for him to do it. Not because of the tithe, but I can see why you would point to that. Quran just mentioned Genesis 26:5. Yeah, it's more because that's what he's talking about with the tithes. It's not the tithes per se. It's the fact that it's the priest of the Most High God. So if he knew the priest of the Most High God, what's the priest's job? Hold on, I'll show you what the priest's job is. Malachi 2:5. I see you, my friend. That's when he made the promise to him.
I was gonna say too, like on a different type of time. Like I was researching, like I think Noah was alive, and Shem was alive, and Abraham was alive. Looking at when they died.
I mean, they could have been, but you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never investigated enough time to into it because I never really cared.
No, I was just saying to the point of.
Oh, not that you did anything wrong for looking at it.
Yeah, not saying how the word from Adam to Noah, and from Noah, he was able to pass up to his son Shem.
I mean, but even if they weren't alive, let's just say somebody came with the reverse argument saying they wasn't alive, it still wouldn't matter because Noah taught Shem, and Shem taught his offspring. So it was in the earth. Because it said Noah was a man who was perfect in his generations. So how would this man be perfect in his generations for Yahuwah to show grace on him if he ain't had no word? How is Noah going to know what a clean and unclean animal is if he ain't had no word? Yeah, say he was a preacher of righteousness. That's what Peter said. You know what I'm saying? So how he going to be able to do that and he ain't had no word? Then if you know how Yahuwah operate, before Yahuwah would flood the earth, these people would have had to been warned. So what was he warning them to do? Because Genesis say they corrupted the way of Yahuwah on the earth. Now, we all know the Hebrew word for way is darak, and that is representative of way of life. So what is that way of life? Well, it tell you that in Isaiah 35, there's a highway, and it shall be called the way of Kadash. So if that's the way of Yahuwah, then that means they had the instructions on being Kadash. But we already know they had the instructions because we know Adam ate the law when they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And this is what he was able to teach his offspring so that they could know what was good and what was evil. For men to say it wasn't no word before Moses, that means no man before Moses had any knowledge of good and evil. Therefore, Yahuwah couldn't condemn any of them. Not one. Because at that point, what is he judging them against? And if he was to judge them to be damned with no knowledge of good and evil, that would make Yahuwah unjust. You know what I'm talking about? But that's just because people don't really know the word like that. You know, they didn't even understand the ramification of such a incomplete statement. See, no, what they get it twisted at is the law isn't the covenant. The law was a part of the covenant. The law and the covenant are two separate entities because whether you in covenant with Yahuwah or not, his law is his law. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brews think the law is the covenant. So since he gave it to Israel, nobody had it before Israel. And that's just bad information being given to whomever gave it to you. Shalom, Brother Craig, man. At the end of the day, that's all that is. The law and the covenant are two different things, but they're mutually exclusive in regards to the house of Yasharal. But they're two different things. You know what I'm talking about? You know why we know that? Because in Acts 17, he said he winked at men's ignorance, and now he command men everywhere to repent. And he told you that those who died without the law will be judged without the law. Regardless of that, them Canaanites got took down. They ain't had no law because Yahuwah's law is Yahuwah's law. How else do we know that? 2 Kings 17, when he sent them lions to eat them people who didn't know the law of the manner of the God of the land. It didn't matter if they didn't have it or not. My law is my law, and it stands. And get what? Them people still wasn't in covenant with him, and they had to keep that law so them lions wouldn't eat them up. So this is just niggas who just don't know what the hell they talking about. What I just asked you?
Malachi 2:5.
2:5. Malachi 2:5.
My covenant was with him of life and shalom, and I gave them to him the fear with which he feared me and was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in shalom and equity, and did turn many away from iniquity.
He turned many away from what?
From iniquity.
What else?
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
And they should keep what?
Should keep knowledge.
They should keep what?
Knowledge.
What else?
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
Seek the Lord as what?
At his mouth.
At his what?
At his mouth.
Okay.
For he the messenger of Yahuwah of hosts.
Now Genesis 14:14. Listen to that. Hey, cuz.
And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his train, born in his own house, 318, and pursued unto Dan.
What muffin man?
And he divided himself against them, and he and his servants by night, and smote them and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot and his goods, and the woman also, and the people.
Listen to him.
And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Kedelamer of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he, the priest of the Most High Elohim.
So how is this man gonna go meet the priest of the Most High Elohim who come to meet him with bread and wine? And listen, right? This is not saying that this is Abraham's first encounter with Melchizedek either. So let that be known. It's saying Melchizedek is meeting him after the spoils. So that means you think Abraham just tied for no reason? There had to be some type of conversation and instruction given to him for him to even know to do that. See, most people will read that and think this is his first interaction with Melchizedek. Is that what it said? No, it is not. Read it again when it said what Melchizedek came and did.
Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he, the priest of the Most High Elohim, he baruched him and said, Baruch Abram of the Most High Elohim, possessor of Shemahim and earth, and Baruch be the Most High Elohim, which have delivered your enemies into your hand. And he gave him tithes of all. And the king of Sodom said,
now, he didn't say, how would Melchizedek even know who this man is? How would a Melchizedek even know what he went to do and why he went to do it if he had never conversed with this man before? And for Abraham to go seek him and say, amen, the priest's lips to keep knowledge and the people seek the what? Did Melchizedek go looking for Abram or did Abraham go looking for him? Abraham went to go looking for him. So that means if he went to go looking for him, he know because he got a word. Now, the brother was just talking about this on this Zoom call, which is an accurate assessment, but it's different for me. It's along what we were talking about last night. You know, they were talking about people being in the churches. I can't say that I got no issue with no church because, like I told y'all, I ain't never been in one. So a conversation about a church, most of y'all ain't never really been in one. I've been telling you for a long time. Most niggas ain't been in no church. You showing up every now and again, you wasn't in no church. You know what I'm talking about? But we were talking about this here. Most niggas be mad at the church because that's what the young lady was saying. They lied to us. But man, most of them people ain't lie to you. You know, the lie you have to purposely deceive. You know what I'm talking about? Now, did they tell you lies in some areas? Oh, yeah, probably. More than likely. Absolutely. Unequivocally. Ain't going to be no doubt about it. Were they intentionally lying? Probably not. Most of them were taught a lie, and they just taught you to lie. You know what I'm talking about? Because they thought it was the truth. When I hear most brews say they lied to us, it's more so about they didn't tell us we were Israelites. But I told you that plenty of time before. Most of you niggas weren't card-carrying members of no church. You were just there. You was there because your people made you go. When you became old enough to go on your own, you didn't go. And when you did go, you went out there because you were thotting and bopping, lying and stealing, whatever it was you were doing, and you were trying to go on there to make yourself feel better on a good Sunday afternoon about how you had been living and how you had been moving. Most of you weren't going every week. You weren't intricately involved in what they had going on. You weren't dedicating your time and resources to what they had going on. You showed up for the highlights of the year. You was there for Christmas. You was there for Easter. You was there for New Year's. And you was there maybe every first Sunday of the month. And you ain't come back around because you was around here getting drunk, popping your legs open, pulling your wee-wee out, smoking weed, telling lies, and doing whatever the hell else you was doing. You know what I'm talking about? Now you find out you Israelite and you 38 hot, mad with these people. And for what? Nigga, you wasn't serving God when you was there. Now you mad at the pastor. He lied to us. He ain't lied to you. He was a no good nigga just like you was a no good nigga. This was a no good nigga environment. Now, is every preacher in every church a no good nigga? You know they not. You know some of them men living according to what they believe is correct. I say that because there's a lot of no good Israelite niggas. You niggas ain't got a problem with that. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. But the reason why I mention it is those type of conversations wouldn't resonate with a nigga like me. I ain't never been in no church. Ain't none of my peers never been in no church. So you not going to reach me talking to me about that. I don't give a damn about that, my nigga. Because I don't know where y'all from, but everybody in here for the most part is from Jacksonville, Florida. And them young niggas who out here slaughtering in the street and them young girls who out here whoring and doing all this other type of stuff, them niggas ain't in no church. You know what I'm talking about? So that saved them from the church conversation. Well, that's not going to reach them for what they got going on out here, man. You know what I'm talking about? For the niggas who out here stealing, living lost, and you know what I'm saying, just whole life destroyed, that conversation ain't going to reach them. And the reason why I say that is because, well, you know the difference between most brews and most of them churches, whether they're a black church or a white church, the white folks going in the hood, boy, with no fear. Look here, it's some parts of New Orleans ain't there nigga in here gonna go in, and Danny Warfel took his square head behind in there on a regular basis. You know what I'm talking about? Preaching the word. I'm not saying that to be funny. We were just talking about this other day. IUIC go in Eureka Gardens and preach the word. Most of these niggas not going around there. You'll sit here online, you'll talk about these niggas in the hood doing this, that, there, and the third. You won't take your coward behind around that, though. And you know why you won't go around there? Because they know you fake and phony and flawed when you get there. They don't respect what you're talking about. You don't even approach them like a real person. You don't talk to them like a real person. You talk to them like a nigga who be on the internet all day. They not going to receive that. A street nigga don't want to hear that. A girl who been out here, her somebody molested her, and she been hoeing for the last 7 years because she don't know how to deal with the fact that this nigga was touching on her, and she feel like don't nobody give a damn about her. That junk you talking about, she don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? A nigga, when he opened up his refrigerator and the refrigerator talking back to him, and the only thing he know what to do is to get that fire and get some dope and get out here and get it how he live, he don't want to hear that, what you talking about. He don't want to hear that. You're not going to reach him about that. You're going to have to show him what Yahuwah can do for him. You're going to have to show him what's going to happen to him, son, and you keep giving it away. Here's a better option for you. It's some hope behind it. Man, this is people who ain't got no hope whatsoever. They don't give a damn about that, what you talking about. They don't care. And you know how I know? Because I've been out there with them and I did time with them. Niggas don't want to hear that stuff we out here talking about. They don't want to hear that. And that's how I know you niggas don't go around there dealing with people who really in sin for real. You're dealing with people who been playing in the church, playing around on the internet who want to know something. But the people who are out here going through it, you niggas know. You niggas know who niggas out there. Nigga, all my homeboys ain't in the word. Y'all know that. You know how them niggas living. They don't want to hear this stupid. Man, look at man. Most of them niggas got an idea. Did y'all see that clip with that New York nigga who be making them shorts and he was talking about them Israelite niggas? What y'all done built? That's how they look at you niggas. And they don't look at you niggas as forfeits. Y'all not doing nothing for the community. They look at you like you a joke. And you know why they look at you like you a joke? Is because how you interact with people. You're not interacting with people like a real person. Everybody got real stuff going on. And everybody done had a real life situation they done had to deal with. Probably everybody in here done had some type of tragedy happen to them. You know what I'm saying? That threw you for a loop, messed you up. Whether it's something that happened to you, happened to your people. You know what I'm talking about? Man, you don't want to hear all that, man. And you sitting here wondering, man, why we here? What Yahuwah gonna do for us? Oh, we want to come in and just say some more. I'm telling you that how that junk go, man. That's why these boys out here in the street don't listen to them. That's why I also told you. That's why One West can reach them boys in the street because they can relate to them. How they come at them and how they speak and resonate with them. You know what I'm talking about? Because you look like me, you talk like me, you move like me. A lot of people who deal in the word, you're not trying to reach nobody based on. Remember Paul said, "I make myself all pitiful, man." I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 9, I believe. 1 Corinthians 9 and what? 20. Hey, you walking now? You is. So you ain't crawl over there. Tell me what 1 Corinthians 9 and 20 say.
Saying unto the Yahudim, I became as the Yahudim that I might.
Back me up 17. 1 Corinthians 9 and 17, everybody.
For if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation is committed unto me. What is my reward then? That I, when I preach the gospel, I may make the gospel of Mashiach without charge.
I ain't gonna charge you for it.
That I abuse not my power in the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
For though I be free from all, yet have I made myself servant unto all.
Notice he said that thou I'm free from what?
From all.
Free from what?
All.
What that mean? Though I'm free from all, I made myself a what?
A servant unto all.
Remember, he said what? You will not serve over one another with rigor. He also said where the Ruach of the Lord is, there's freedom. And if the truth shall set you free, you shall be free indeed. So though I be no man's bondman, I have became a bondman to everybody. For what cause, Paul?
That I might gain the more.
That I might do what?
Gain the more.
So listen to him.
And unto the Yahudim, I became as the Yahudim.
So what does he mean as the Yahudim? I became as the Yahudim. Remember, he said, I surpassed everybody in the Jews' religion. So the manner of how the Yahudim operated in the land at that time, he spoke to them in that fashion that he might save some of them. And what else did he do? Hey, baby.
That I might gain the Yahudim to them that are under the law as under the law.
So anybody who under the covenant or under the law is forth as being under death, I became that so I could reach them too. Go ahead.
That I might gain them that are under the law.
What else?
To them that are without law as without law.
So those who without the covenant, without the word, like Gentiles, then I came at them so I could reach them too.
Being not without law to Elohim, but under the law to Mashiach, that I might gain them that are without law.
So that's the ones who I got the law, but I don't believe on him as the scripture has said. So let me reach him let me take him through the text to show him the whole book by him, so I might gain some of them too. Go ahead.
To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak.
Go ahead.
I have made all things to all, that I might by all means save some.
That's what a lot of people don't understand. They think that's meaning about compromising. That means that I got enough skill to know, okay, this where you at, then I'm going to relate to you where you at so I can resonate with you. So maybe if it's 15 of y'all, I might can save 2. You know what I'm saying? That's what dudes don't understand. They don't really know. When you look at how Mashiach moved, he could go anywhere and interact with anybody of any walk of life in any status in any way whatsoever was necessary. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes who got the word, they can't do that. You should be able to talk to a nigga who in the street and talk to a middle class person and talk to an upper class person and be able to actually interact and relate to all of them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of forcing, this is who I am, and you can accept me as I am. You a goddamn fool. You think like that. You ain't gonna save nobody. Because now you making it about you and not about the job and the mission. You know what I'm talking about? It's not about you. Nobody's not supposed to be accepting you. You too concerned about, I want to be who I am. Who gives a damn who you are? You supposed to be representing you who. It's not about you. If it's about you, then you God then. So that means you coming in your own name. Ain't that what he said in John 5? If I came in my own name, they would receive me. It's not about you. And that's why he say he that wins souls is what? And that mean why? That mean he's skillful. You see that how that work with what Paul talking about? Because that's what Paul talking about. That Proverbs 11:31. He that wins souls is wise. They got skill. You got to have some manner of skill to be able to do that. That's why everybody can't do it. Where we was at before that? We read Genesis 14. Give me Genesis 18 and 18. You know, that's each verse right here, man. Then Genesis 26 and 5, man.
Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be baruched in him. For I know him that he will command his sons and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of Yahuwah.
They shall do what? He said he'll do what? He said he'll do what?
Command his children and household after them, and they shall
command his who?
His sons.
His command is who?
His sons.
And his who?
Household after him.
To do what?
Keep the way of Yahuwah.
To keep the what?
Way of Yahuwah.
Well, what you think the way of Yahuwah is?
To do justice and judgment.
How would they know to do justice? Judgment is mishpat. That means right and wrong. Genesis 26 and 5.
Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, my charge,
and my what?
My commandments,
and my what?
My statutes,
and my what?
My laws.
Oh my God! Now everybody know that. That don't mean that if you don't believe that's the laws he talking about, then you don't believe it. Then who's here trying to convince you? And you who is saying the man did it? Well, what laws you think he talking about? You should already know that because he said he'll do my judgments. That means he had to be to do justice and judgment. Somebody had to teach you that. And we know Yahuwah didn't teach him directly because the text don't say that. Off the top of your head, who are the people who Yahuwah taught directly?
Moses, Adam.
Moses, Adam, and Yahusha, and that's it. Them the only people he taught directly. They're the only people who did not receive instruction from a man that you can see in this text, man, before you go to get into them 12 apostles. Moses, Adam, Yahusha. They're the only people. Aaron didn't even get taught directly by the Lord. Moses taught him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why that's hard for people to understand. Because you know everybody say we all get revelation. No, we don't. You know what a nigga think a revelation is? I don't even think most people understand what a revelation is. And I'm not here to talk about it today because I don't really care enough to do so. Let's continue. Where we was at before that? Hey, Tip Tooth, baby. We was in Songs of Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
Songs of Solomon 5. He said he eated his honeycomb with my honey. Tell him what the honeycomb is, man.
Honeycomb is Ya'ar. That's forest, wood, thicket, wooded height, or honeycomb.
A honeycomb. What's been compared to a honeycomb? That word. And what got compared to some honey? That manna. And what he said he'll give, he said he the manna that come down from where? Heaven. That he'd give for what? The life of the world. Now see, Boop said this on the way here, right? And how many of y'all was, I ain't gonna say that you would be a card carrying member, but how many of y'all believe you went to church consistently? Matter of fact, who went to church in here that you would say, I went to church? By show of hands. How long did you go? Consistently.
Consistently, shoot, from the age of 5 to about 12, 13.
Oh, that don't count. You was a child. Yeah, that don't count.
It counts. I was involved. I was involved every week. Bro.
No, I'm saying when we not say that don't count, cause that wasn't something that you would have did on your own volition. You know what I'm saying? I'm really more so talking about.
I mean, but most of the time we was doing our own volition, we don't hear the word and we start transferring this way.
No, I'm saying some of y'all in here were going in your teens into early adulthood. That's why I say that. You know what I'm saying? You know, 5 to that age there, you know, Mom do say we going to church and you finna participate gladly or suffer the consequences. You know what I'm talking about? Well, how long did you go? You raised your hand. Mother Sharona said all her life, and she's 61. I seen you niggas. Yeah, me.
I went to church.
You clearly ain't learned nothing.
No. Look. So I had went to church.
You said consistently.
I think. Look, that Saturday I had carried about.
And you went to church the next day?
And I went to church the next day. Oh, we're going to church. I was like, okay, come on. And then.
So when you went to church that Sunday, when was the last time you went to church before that?
Probably the Sunday before. Like we was going to church.
And you ain't learned nothing.
But no, that's when I stopped going because when I had went to study, you preached about the same thing. The guest preacher preached about it was a lady, so I stopped going.
You heard that word.
That nigga said it was a lady. No, I want to mention it because she said y'all were talking about this here. How long you went to church, Lisa? Dee said she went even after turning 18, Tallahassee and all. She said it went to a whole nother city. I'm going to find me a church home. That's what y'all were doing. How long you went? Why you start going? Because you wanted to be a heathen. Why you wanted to go? I'm not being funny now. I mean, I'm going to throw a joke in there, but I'm being serious. Or why you want to hear? I mean, you got to realize something, right? I know y'all be, but these are reasonable questions to you.
I believe in God. But I want to live righteously.
You want to live righteously, but you needed that yak, huh?
They said that yak ain't wrong.
No, she said I did.
They said that yak ain't wrong. A little bit of yak in church. That's a great yak.
I know I need to get one to do. They're going to the Lord will forgive us anyway. So it was like, shoot, that.
Now, see, I ain't gonna lie. That's a lie. And I believe no, not on y'all part. Not that I believe they know they lying. You know what I'm saying? Baptized as an adult. Oh, you were going. You was a member. You were going, Doris? Hell no. Nah. You were in New York City heathens. Y'all don't go to church. Y'all just stand on the corner and say, I love the Lord, and then go do some crimes.
So you would say if anybody was thought about sending their child to private school, you would say no?
I wouldn't send my child to a Christian private school under no circumstance. I wouldn't give a damn what type of curriculum they got. You sending them to be indoctrinated into idolatry. Because any Christian private school, the basis and foundation of the school is Christianity. It's not the curriculum. Then you're going to think they're going to come home and want to hear about Yahuwah and they heard about a white Jesus all day? For 180 days? Was it a Christian school? Well, they did a poor job.
I'm just saying, we didn't talk about the Lord throughout the whole day. We did the first period. You recited what you knew, and we didn't really went over stories of the Bible, not actually learned about the book.
It would go there, but they're going to frame them stories in the fashion, in the narrative that they want you to receive it. It's a Christian school. That's like saying I'm gonna go to a private Catholic school. It's gonna be the foundation of it is gonna be based off what they believe. And that's how they're gonna sell it to you. Oh, there's nowhere in the world. If you would send, and if any of you would send your children to a Christian private school, you probably would just go out here, eat, drink, and tomorrow you die. Because clearly you don't give a damn about their soul. You gonna send them to some white folks to give them white narratives about the Lord, and you know better than that. They're not gonna come home and serve God when they come home. They're gonna walk the hallways and see a white Jesus, a white Peter, a white Paul, a white Noah, a white Moses. Shoot, lying to me. I don't know what they did when you went to UC. That's all Naisha got when she came home. And I told her straight down. I said, "Boy, God, white. I don't want to serve God." I remember talking about that when I was 7, 8 years old. I don't want to serve God. Shoot, they had pictures on the wall. They sent her home with books with that junk. Now remember, this is the 80s, and I don't know what they did when you were there, but I'm telling you what went down when she was there. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for when you were there. Yeah, but I'm telling you, 88, 87, 89. Oh, I'll never forget that long as I live. Hold on, Brother Sharon and Sean, because I definitely told God, I'm like, oh yeah, God, why? I don't want to go. I don't want to serve God. I don't want nothing to do with this. Nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, y'all. But Sharon said she started reaching my family when I stopped Christian bashing and talking about the law and Christmas. My 85-year-old mother, who was the pastor's wife and a Sunday school teacher, listening on the class. Now, that's a testimony. That's what Mother Sharon said. I remember she told me that. John said he went one time in college after years of not going. About 40 to 60% of the people caught the Holy Ghost and was running and jumping around, and I didn't go back. And I found the word not too long after that. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have went. I've never experienced that. But I know that must be a hell of a thing to see live. A nigga just jumping up and running up and down the aisles, flapping and falling out. You know what I'm talking about? That's got to be a hell of an experience. Now, I mentioned that because he mentioned that she say for her, she believed that she got the foundation of faith from the church. Now, I done told you this before. The church usually lead with faith. They may not lead with it with understanding, but that's what they lead with. And when you're dealing with most people who have voids in their life and they're looking for some manner of hope and something to latch on to, that's why they go. You know what I'm saying? I think most people deal with being an Israelite more so rejection of what they perceive to be lies from where they came from.
Okay, so what would you all right, so what I'm saying now in public schools, they teach you more faggot than.
I mean, if all possible, if you could, you should instruct your own children because they're going to get indoctrinated if you send them to a private school, and they're going to get indoctrinated if you send them to a public school because they're going to indoctrinate you in the manner of the society, of the culture that you live in. But you would have to understand that if you're going to instruct your children at home, the level of undertaking that's going to require and the full-fledged commitment to that endeavor. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not able to do it, then that means that you're going to have to teach 5 times more against what they're getting at that public school when it comes to that faculty. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do it in detail. You're going to have to do it in depth in regards of explaining why this is unacceptable conduct and behavior. That's the only 3 options we got. You pull them up out of there, you do it yourself, but you're going to have to be committed fully to doing that. Because sending them they might be teaching faggotry, but as far as I'm concerned, faggotry and idolatry, side of the same coin. It's going to be destructive to them either way. They're going to be destroyed either way because they can come out here confused in the ability to serve Yahuwah and to latch on to them. Because it's not like one lie is better than the other lie. They still get lied to.
It just seems like a policy for you to say it's worse to send it to prison.
That's what I was getting at.
Because of the aspect of you still getting a lie.
They say it's worse.
Shoot, it's the same.
Right.
It's
That
the
ain't what you said.
Yeah.
You were saying it's worse.
I mean, what I'm saying is it's the same. What I just said is the side of the same coin.
Yeah.
It's the side of the same coin.
But I guess what they were saying, they would send their kids to school would be the same as sending them to a private school.
Well, what I'm saying, you sending them to a private school to get either way it go, they getting lied to. You're just gonna feel better. They ain't teaching them about faggots, but they teaching them about idolatry. They teaching them about going against Yahuwah. They gonna teach them about a multitude of things that could be just as damaging, if not more damaging, than being a sissy. Because now they're gonna be a self-righteous, proud, unbelieving, unrepentant sinner. And then on top of that, then they're gonna come home and you're gonna be trying to tell them the truth of Yahuwah on top of that. So now they're gonna get two diametrically opposing views. And you're expecting a 5, 6, 7-year-old child to be able to digest that information. It's absolutely impossible. They're not going to be able to do it. They don't even have the mental capacity and deductive reasoning skills to be able to decipher through all of that. They don't have it.
No, I get that. I'm saying the average Christian private school, I can't keep wrong. The average Christian private school is based on whatever the tendency is of that individual school versus the public school has a pretty much county-wide curriculum.
I get that, but that tenet of that Christian school is going to be a tenet of lies because it's Christianity. And not only that, Western Christianity and Anglo-Saxon European Christianity, which is eminently more worse. Because now this child is going to have a false negative view of themselves because they're not going to teach them who they are, who they deceive. No, but what I'm talking about is, but they're coming from the text, because this is the difference. If we had an Israelite private school, they would be getting instruction on the word with understanding. They're going to go to this Christian private school and they're going to get a misunderstanding of the text, which is drastically worse. Then when I'm make it worse, then they're going to come home to you and you're going to be telling them, nah, this is what it really says. That child is going, that's like if you were a co-parent and the mom is a Christian and you were Brew. They're getting two different sets of information. That child going to be confused. And they're usually going to go with the one that's going to allow them the more freedom to do what they want to do.
I was just speaking of the sense that every Christian school is not based. Because I went to a Christian school and I can say the same. You weren't getting taught by nobody.
You're not getting taught it directly, but it's definitely insinuated. It's definitely implied. It's going to be implied. You live in America. And what may not resonate in your mind, it can resonate in another mind by having a thought process daddy white, especially when we live in a society that really, whether directly or subliminally, infers that this man is Caucasian and that everybody in it is Caucasian. I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't give a damn. If I got to send them to a Christian school, they don't need to go to school at all. Because that's just like saying, should I vote for Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama? Which one is worse? They're both worse. It's not a good choice. The right choice is no choice. I'm not voting for either. We can't get on what it's not as bad as this. Once you get in your mind it's not as bad as this, you're admitting that they're both bad. And if they're both bad, then they shouldn't be an option. That means that you would just have to commit fully to instructing your child yourself and make that commitment and go all in with it, than to send them to oppressors on both sides of the coin to get bad information. No, absolutely not. Let me see what they got on here. He says it's comical, definitely off-putting if you go for understanding. Brother Craig say he never went to church to witness anything like that. Brother Marvin say that's why he homeschooled. And Brother Craig say he agrees that homeschooling is the only way. Especially if we're going to be in the word, you have to know that. We have to know that. Because we're sending our kids to people who don't look like us. So they do not have a vested interest in the holistic success of your child. They don't. They're not interested in that. It doesn't benefit them to do it. And I ain't mad at them for it, because why would they want that? Doesn't make sense. They're in power.
We toured up when we first moved down here. We had toured the school. I don't know where it was. But yeah, like you said, they was praying. They had like mandatory prayer like 2 or 3 times a day. It was a Christian school, and this when we first got here. But they was actually doing what you said. It was pictures of
yeah, like you said, every school different. You know what I'm saying? Just one Christian school might do this, and another Christian school might do that, because they're not held to whatever the case may be. But I wouldn't risk my child's soul by sending them to people who I know are sinners, who the foundation and creed of their institution is based off of sin and a lie. I'm not sending my child to that. I might as well just hand him to the devil and say, here you go. Do what you will. She said, I was ignorant. My kids were not. I sent both my sons to a Christian school and a Catholic school. My eyes were open when my son Isaac embarrassed me. True story. Isaac mocked the whole system at age 7. He must have went in there and went off on them people. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, now I'm not even being funny. Like, man, when my cousin used to show me her homework when she went to UC, I was like, I'm good. I say, if God looked like this here, I don't want to serve God. I'm straight. I don't want nothing to do with it. Nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Because everything she brought home, everybody was white. I was like, no, I'm good on that. I don't want nothing to do with this. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? I remember that clear as day. She said Isaac fell on his knees. But I understand the basis of it because it looked better. At least they ain't teaching them about. I just put that picture in there. We were cleaning that vision where some niggas had an all-gender restroom. Everybody come in. They had 2 bathrooms. You know, one usually be male, female. That doesn't say all gender. Everybody uses it. You know what I'm saying? They had 3 genders on there, too. I was like, well, damn, what's the third one?
Combination of both.
Yeah, it had 3 things on there. It had a man, a woman, and I don't know. A man whoa. A man whoa. It's a man and a woman. When you walk up there, you be like, whoa. I don't know what that junk is. That junk is weird. I ain't never seen that like that. Where you at, sir? Oh, I know. I know he was mocking. She said her son was mocking them people. You don't say, some of them children be sharp. They be peeping them lies, and then they got hard to say, y'all in here lying. And she said he did it under the Christmas tree. Say, you lying bastard. Ain't no Santa Claus. See, I was that child that I'd have been in. Ain't no damn Santa Claus. And Jesus ain't white. Yeah, that's me. That's definitely what I'd have did. I was that nigga. I'm going to ruin it for everybody. You know what I'm talking about? Definitely. They were mad at me. I told my cousin Young, ain't no Santa Claus. They're like, why would you tell her that? Why you lying to her? You know what I'm talking about? And we like 5, 6 years old. He's like, you ruined it for her. Ruined it for what? You know, damn fat white man coming over here? No, that junk just wasn't in my spirit, boy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't knew something about it wasn't right. That before I even knew the text say the man was brown. I said, I know something about this ain't right. You know what also was? I could read, and I seen the news, and I seen how them people were doing us. And I'm like, if God white, and these people doing us like this here, that's not a God I want nothing to do with. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? You beating on our people crying about this, that, there, and the third, and you want me to believe he white, I'll go to hell then. Straight up. You know what I'm talking about? That was my mind in 1987. I'll go to hell then before I get down with him. Because if your God tell you this what you can do to people, that's not a God I want nothing to do with. Come on, man. Hold on. Crystal say she got the foundation of faith from church, family, music, and private school. She thinks the last time she went to church was 2015, 2016. She said, unfortunately, there's no accredited Israelite school to teach children the word. I know it is one. I think it's one. If it's not in Chicago, it's in Indiana. What's your man name with the dreads, Will? I can't remember his congregation. You know who I'm talking about? Brother Elijah. I think they congregation got a school either in Indiana or in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Because I know their home base is in Gary, but I think they got one in Chicago or in Indiana. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think they do, man. You know what I'm saying? If somebody know, it's a few brews around here, man. I don't know if that she did say accredited. I don't know if these schools are accredited. You know what I'm talking about? But I know it's a few brews. They do got schools. You know what I'm talking about? That's what brought them on the Zoom call. We're talking about is forfeits with stuff like that because that's the only remedy for that. You know what I'm saying? If you looking like, okay, I don't want to send them to this private school and the public school's doing this here, the only remedy is to do it yourself. You know what I'm talking about? But to do it yourself, you have to be fully committed to that task. It can't just be some old, oh, you teaching baby, and then let it be that, and she's not equipped to do so because she's going to fail.
private school, they have people. It's expensive.
Well, everybody knows shoot. Bo's like going to college, nigga.
I mean, you got Episcopal as well.
But that's a Catholic school. Nigga, what you think Episcopal is? Episcopalian, or however you say that, John. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know how you say that, John.
I had a homeboy that went there.
Shoot, nigga. I was just out there cleaning not too long ago, nigga, because that's a church. The Episcopal, that's a church. Yeah, that's a religious denomination, an offshoot of Catholicism. That's why them and Bishop Kenny down the street from each other. Y'all know about Episcopal? You know what that's at? Me. Come on, cuz. It's not a time for that. Don't laugh at him because you're going to encourage him. I'm not talking to you because you're not grown. That junk over there off Atlantic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the primary school called Assumption, and I think it is Catholic.
Yeah, down that way there, that's definitely all them idols down there. Because I remember
I thought it was growing up, but then when he was telling me about it, he was like, they didn't treat it like that.
they may not, like I said, right? I don't know what their curriculum is. When you pull up in there, that goddamn Virgin Mary at the front door.
Assumption Catholic Church, and the primary school is Catholic.
Talking about Episcopal?
No, the primary school.
You talking about Episcopal, right?
He talking about the school on Atlantic when you get down there towards to go to San Marco. That one on the right. That's where they football stadium at.
Right, that's the feeder school for it. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Also, the school.
Right, and that's what I was saying. The primary school is Catholic. The high school Catholic is not, but that's the feeder school for it. So I'm assuming it's all Catholic.
Yeah, Episcopal is a literal religion.
I know that, but that's why when I was growing up, I always thought it was. But then my man, he actually went to the school, so it was like 9. So
A lot of people
They
think
hurt.
they might just tell the mom, keep it kind of important.
Bishop Kenny might be the what you call it part of it. Yeah.
They all
It's
connected.
The feeder school. So
They all connect. Because Bishop Kenny is a literal Catholic school.
I know that for sure.
Yeah, because Bishop Kenny.
I don't even remember where Bishop Kenny at.
It's just behind Assumption.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it might be. Assumption might just be the feeder school.
okay. That's what got me confused. Because that's Bishop Kenny down by San Marco. Episcopal is
Right there.
Episcopal is across the street from Whispering Oaks. You know what I'm talking about? Right before you get on the hard bridge.
Right.
Because we cleaned the buildings over there. You know what I'm talking about?
Right where TLC.
They ain't got all the idols in there like Bishop Kenny got. When you step on Bishop Kenny campus, boy, it's idols everywhere. That's what I was talking about. You're gonna see the Virgin Mary as soon as you whip in to Bishop Kenny. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I was like, this ain't right before God, man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so like I said, like say Bowles is a private school, but you finna pay. You know what I'm talking about? That's damn near paying the college tuition to go to high school.
35, I believe. 35,000.
Yeah, that's like going to college.
They say they have scholarships.
I gotta have a scholarship to go to high school. And look what they did. They gave you Mac Jones. He out there playing like trash.
I ain't gonna count. University Christian getting that way too, bro.
I know it. I mean, shoot, University Christian ain't never been cheap either. Come on, son. Where you at?
Songs of Solomon 5.
Songs of Solomon 5 and 1. That junk ain't cheap either, man.
I am coming to my garden, my sister, spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Eat, O friends, drink, yea, drink abundantly, O beloved.
Let's go and give him Revelation 19 and 10, man, on the house. He say, drink. Why you biting on that? Her two gonna come back to replace that one, ain't it? Hopefully you ain't tear up no root.
And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see not, I am your fellow servant and of
My
your
bad.
brethren.
I think I got you in the wrong place. 1905. They told me what she fell off of. Leah told me.
No, she had a head on another child's head.
Damn. Which one of the big head turns she fell on? I should have known it. Abby got the hardest head out of all of them. Oh, Leah said she fell off a bookcase or something. That's what. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, you see why I tell you about that? You're a little bigger than she is. That's why I tell you about that. Because I don't be wanting you to fall. Because when you gonna fall, I know you're gonna be extra. And I can understand because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Because we ain't got no carpet. That's strong tile. That junk gonna hurt. I hate it for you.
19 and
that to happen
5.
to you. Yeah, come on. I don't want that to happen.
And a voice came out of the throne saying, "Praise our Elohim, all you his servants, and you that fear him, both small and great." And I heard, as it were, the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thundering, saying, "Hallelujah, for Yahuwah Elohim, omnipotent reign. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife have made herself ready."
She made herself what?
Ready.
What else she do?
And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is the righteousness of saints.
See that there? Come on down and sit down with my beloved. Just sit down and drink in abundance. I'm coming to my garden. I'm coming to my kingdom. Come on and sit down and drink because I love you, baby. Songs of Solomon 5 and 2, though. Hey, stop playing before I give you a reason to be talking about ooh and all that other stuff you got going on. I'm not playing. Hey, get your hand off the chair. Get your hand off the chair. Sit up properly. Get your face off the chair. Stop touching the chair is my point. Now, if you want to play, it's a lot of men in here got belts on their pants. They can play with you. Whoa. Ain't gonna be no whoa. That belt go to playing with they behind, and they're gonna be like this here. I don't want to play no more. So that's what you look for. You look like you're fishing for a thrashing. Didn't I just tell you get off the damn chair? These right boys, they ain't doing right, so we're gonna have to get them right. Come on.
I sleep, but my heart wake. The voice of my beloved that knock.
I sleep, but my heart what?
Wake.
I sleep, but my heart what?
Wake.
The voice of my beloved
that knock. Open to me, my sister, my love,
open
my
to
dove.
Me what?
My sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled.
Hey, come here, boy. Come here, boy. No, don't shake your head now. Come on over here. I'm talking about because I told you to get off the chair, and then you do it anyway. I ought to hit you in the head with this bottle. What y'all think this mean, man, when he say, I sleep, but my heart is a what?
Awake.
Tell him what awake mean, man.
Or my heart wake. That's to rouse oneself, to awake, to awaken, to incite.
My heart is awakening and incited. How do you sleep but your heart awake? What does this mean?
He was in the grave, but he was alive.
Sylvie say he was in the grave, but he alive. Is it? Let's look and see. John chapter 11. I cried out to you from the depths of the pit. That what Quran say. John chapter 11, man. Tell me what verse 20 say.
Say then Martha, as soon as she heard that Yahushua was coming, went and met him, but Mary sat in the house. Then said Martha unto Yahushua, Master, if you had been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever you will ask of Elohim, Elohim will give you. Yahushua said unto her, your brother shall rise again. Martha said unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Yahushua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believe in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whoso live and believe in me shall never die. Believe you this?
Now give him John 11 and 13. I just wanted you to hear the statement before the example.
Howbeit Yahushua spake of his death, but they thought that he had spoken of taking of rest and sleep.
Give him 10 then. What y'all doing? What y'all doing?
But if a man walk in the night, he stumble because there's no light in him. These things said he, and after that he said unto them, our friend Lazarus sleep, but I go that I may awake him out of sleep.
My friend Lazarus what?
Sleep.
But I go that I might what?
Awake him out of sleep.
Okay.
Then said his disciples, Master, if he sleep, he shall do well.
He'll do well.
Howbeit Yahushua spake of his death, but they thought that he had spoken of taking of rest and sleep. Then said Yahushua unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead, and I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent that you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him.
Let me ask y'all this question. How you sleep but your heart awake? How are you asleep but your heart awake? It said that your heart would be roused. Keep on going. I didn't want you to think about that. Incited. That's what it said, right?
Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow disciples, let us also go that we may die with him. Then when Yahushua came, he found that they had all had lain in the grave 4 days already. Now Bethany was near unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off. And many of the Yahudim came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Yahushua was coming, went and met him, but Mary sat in the house. Then said Martha unto Yahushua, Master, if you had been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever you ask of Elohim, Elohim will give you. Yahushua said unto her, your brother shall rise again.
Your brother shall what?
Rise again.
Why?
Martha said unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Yahushua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life.
That's good. Give me verse 30.
Now Yahushua was not yet come into the town, but was in that place where Martha met him. The Yahudim then, which were with her in the house, and comforted her, when they saw Mary, that she arose up hastily and went out, followed her, saying, she go into the grave to weep there. Then when Mary was come where Yahushua was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Master, if you had been here, my brother had not died. When Yahushua therefore saw her weeping, and the Yahudim also weeping, which came with her, he groaned in the ruach and was troubled, and said, where have you laid him? They said unto him, Lord, come and see. Yahushua wept. Then said the Yahudim, behold, how he loved him. And some of them said, could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind have caused that?
Notice he said, look how he grown, look how he loved him. You see how they go back some of that stuff we were talking about in Songs of Solomon 4? You see how they go back to the stuff we were talking about, the love that you have for me surpassed the love of women. He said, look how he loved him. That's why I say, if you love one another, this is how people will know that you my disciples. Come on.
Which opened the eyes of the blind have caused that even this man should not have died. Yahushua therefore again groaning in himself came to the grave. There was a cave and a stone lay upon it. Yahushua said, take you away the stone. Martha, the sister of him, was dead. Said unto him, Master, by this time he stink, for he had been 4 days. Yahushua said unto her, I, not unto you, that if you would believe, you should see the esteem of Elohim. Then they took away the stone where the dead was laid, and Yahushua lifted up his eyes and said, Abba, I thank you that you have heard me. And I knew that you heard me always, because of the people which stand by, I said that they may believe that you have sent me. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth.
Lazarus, do what?
Come forth.
What happened after that?
And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes. His face was bound about with a napkin. Yahushua said unto them, loose him and let him go.
Let him what?
Let him go.
Loose him and let him go. Come on. The Quran mentioned John 5:25.
Truly, truly, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Elohim, and they that hear shall live.
Pause. Genesis 49:7.
Curse their anger, for fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Yasharal. Yehuda, you whom your brethren shall praise, your hand in the neck of your enemies, your father's son shall bow down before you. Yehuda, a lion's whelp from the prey, my son, you are gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart
That's
from...
good. Tell him what rouse up means.
That's kum, to rise, to arise, to stand, to rise up, to stand up.
Now, what was awake again in Songs of Solomon 5? What are they doing to that baby?
That was or to rouse oneself, to awake, to awaken.
Now let's come back to Ephesians 5 and 12. Hold on, Mother Sharona say dead to the flesh. Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret, but all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light.
Mm-hmm.
But whatsoever do make manifest is light. Wherefore he said, awake, you that sleep, and arise from the dead, and Mashiach shall give you light.
He said, awake, you that what?
That sleep.
And arise from the what?
From the dead.
He said he asleep, but his what wake?
His heart.
Listen, right? The aspect of what would keep your heart awake? The word itself. Because the word of Elohim can never what? Never pass away. So even though you in the grave, your heart is awake or is roused up because Yahuwah is in you.
In the scripture in Romans, he said something about now I speak the light of salvation is near, or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? It was like wrong verse.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I can't. It's not coming to mind all the time.
I ain't mean to laugh.
No. You good? What's up, GP? See what it says is he talking about having eternal life in you. So again, this card come from guarding the fig tree so that you can eat the fruit thereof. Which one you say?
It was Romans 13:11. Like knowing the time that the
Oh, it's high time to arise out of sleep.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Because see, sleep, you can be dead in sleep and you can be alive in sleep. A lot of niggas alive in sleep. You know what I'm talking about? Because you dead. Because you still in your trespasses and in your sins. They ain't been remitted. You know what I'm saying? It's like what I was talking about last night, man. And I've been telling you this for 11 years. This ain't no black power movement. But it's for the salvation of souls. This is what it's about. That's what it's always been about. That's what it always will be about until he returns. You know what I'm talking about? And if he don't return, then you got an opportunity to deliver your soul if he ain't cut you off. He said, hey, I can move the light on the news. Very well. You know what I'm talking about? Think about that. Let's come back to Songs of Solomon 5. Songs of Solomon 5 and 2 one more time. Oh, he said, open to me the door. Now let's take a look at something, right? Revelation 3 and 19. You can make it 3 and 14. I ain't never heard it be that demonic.
And unto the Malachim of the assembly of the Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of Elohim. I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I would you were cold or hot. So then because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew you out of my mouth.
There was something that a sister said on that Zoom call, which is relevant, but I don't think it's just relevant to the Christian church. She was just basically saying, you join a congregation and you can pretty much do what you want. Ain't nobody gonna hold you accountable, all this type of stuff. And me personally, I believe that's more indicative on the congregation you were part of. If you could be in there and you could do what you want and ain't nobody gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will say this here. You take somebody like TD Jakes, you know what I'm talking about? Not to talk about TD Jakes per se, but how many people are in his organization. It's virtually impossible for that man to keep up with all them people. You know what I'm talking about? And you know why I say that? Because what did he tell Moses to do? Put captains over fit, because there's no way that one man can watch over 5,000 people. There's no way that one man can watch over 10,000 people to make sure that the people are doing what it is that they ought to do. Shalom, Brother Shaul. It's impossible. You know what I'm talking about? See, it's different if you got a congregation, there's 40 or you 50. One person can handle that. One man can't handle 5,000 people. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, one man probably can't handle 250 people. Because somebody going to slip through the cracks. See, I mention that because the word give you a way to be able to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Because the more people you have, the more men you're going to have in authority to be there to judge matters for the people, to counsel the people, to watch over the people. It is utterly impossible for one man to do that. You know what I'm saying? Not that many people. Well, it said it was 600,000 men in Israel, not counting women and children. You think Moses could have literally watched over 1 million people? There's no way. Remember what Jethro told him? He said, boy, you're not going to be able to handle that. Nigga, you going to be dead. And what he told him to do, said captains over 50s, captains over hundreds, captains over thousands. See, that's something our people don't want. You don't really want. See, what it is you want to blame somebody, but you don't want to actually have somebody who has the authority over you that you're going to have to answer to. You know what I'm talking about? See, we don't want none of that. Because you want to be able to say, you ain't the boss of me. That's what Korah them did. We got word too. You ain't the boss of me. You see what happened to him. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened to him. But like I tell you a lot of time, man, a lot of people don't, we pick and choose the parts out of the book you want to do. Earlier today, right, that boy TCA was talking about what his name is, Tazadaki. You know who Tazadaki is? You know what I'm saying? Who in here don't know who Tazadaki is? He ain't nobody to know. That was the dude who said he was the God-sent comforter. His name is Jermaine Grant. He dead, though. He died 3 years ago from COVID. Died a few weeks before he was supposed to go to federal prison for stealing money out the church or misappropriating church funds. Let me say not that he was stealing. They say he was misappropriating. If you go pull up an old episode of Jerry Springer and say, I'm dead serious now, Black Israelites on Jerry Springer, you will see him on there. And that was funny because we watched that episode live when he was on there. This was in like the mid-90s. Of course, we're not in New York, so we don't know who these niggas is. All we looking at is them niggas look like George Clinton them. You know what I'm talking about? That's what we thinking in our mind because we don't know who these dudes is. And then, of course, when we, 14, 15 years later, this dude walk around talking about he the comforter. You know what I'm talking about? Stop it. He said that's why Yahuwah authorized his messengers or the immature elders and that is true, good sir. That is true. I mention that because he played a clip of him on TV. Now the brother who channeled this he's in the UK, so he don't know how things is over here. So he was like, "Oh, he on TV. He on TV." I'm like, "Nah, bro. That's public access television. Anybody can get on public access television. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? I don't even think you need that much money, depending on where you at, to get on public access television." So he was like, "Oh, what are you, one of his ardent supporters?" I'm like, "Nah, bro. I'm just telling you that what it is." He did say, "My bad, bro. I get a lot of trolls." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Bro, you in the UK." He seen him on TV. He automatically assumed that this was nationwide. Like everybody nigga, ain't nobody outside of New York City know who this nigga was. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. If you wasn't in Israelite circles, or if you wasn't, and you had to be in Israelite circles in New York City to know who he was. You from New York City, you don't know this nigga. You know what I'm talking about? If you would have walked past him in Times Square, you wouldn't even known who he was. You know what I'm talking about? And you may have walked past him in Times Square. You know what I'm talking about? You very well may have had. And you wouldn't have known Jermaine Grant from Civic. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that as saying if Civic had took a trip to New York City, you could have walked past and you would have known. You would have met him years later. I'd have never known I seen you walking down Fulton Street. You would have known. I know that's where they be at. That's why I said I know that's where they be at. Them boy post up on the same blocks. You know what I'm talking about? And I only know that because they tell you where they post up at. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, I just know. Like these niggas tell you, like, we're gonna be on Fulton Street, we're gonna be in Times Square, we're gonna be in such and such in Manhattan. Like they're in the same places all the time. You know what I'm saying? New Yorkers gonna be familiar with them because you like, God damn, I gotta go outside on Saturday and there go them niggas. You know what I'm saying? You can't miss them. Really, they probably be out there every day of the week. You know what I'm saying? It would probably just as bad as seeing the 5%ers in front of their school. You know what I'm saying? Walking past these niggas. What's today's mathematics? 7 + 7, nigga, equals get a job and get out of my face. I'm just being serious though. It's different for them where they from because they used to that. You know what I'm saying? All types of niggas with all types of religious beliefs standing outside yelling at people to listen to them. You know, us in the South, we're not used to that. We used to nobody standing outside talking about, that's right. Shalom, Sister Kelly. We're not used to that. So it's different. Mm-hmm. That's him. That's Tazadaki. He good and dead. You know what I'm talking about? He ought to be dead. That nigga was doing music videos with the Lord's money. That boy was hopping out of limousines. Somebody said that in the comments. Imagine Jesus getting out of a limousine. I said, I won't do the man that bad because what if he was getting his money by legitimate means? You know what I'm talking about? Which he wasn't. Like this nigga wanted to be a rap superstar. How you the comforter, a preacher, and a rapper? Not just I make rap music for the Lord, but this nigga shot music videos in clubs. But you know, y'all New York niggas different. Y'all know how y'all roll. Y'all different. That's enough, Muffineer. Or you're gonna be missing another tooth. Gonna be missing another tooth. They gonna call you Toothy. Hey, Toothy. Come on. You flip my pages and I don't appreciate that.
You want me to go back to song?
Where you at right now?
Revelation 3.
Oh no, you keep on going. Keep on going.
verse 17.
Revelation 3 and 17.
So because you say I am rich and increased with goods and I have need of nothing, and know not that you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked, I counsel you to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that you may be rich, and white raiment, that you may be clothed, and your shame and your nakedness do not appear, and anoint your eyes with eye salve.
This is the problem with a lot of us right now. Your nakedness still appear. You walk around here and your private parts out. But when I say private parts, I'm not talking about your reproductive genitalia. I'm talking about all your sins is just out. See the difference between you when he said that your nakedness not appear. You like Adam in the garden, but you ain't got no fig leaves. He ain't gave you no coats of skin. You ain't got no linen tunic on. All your sin out. Remember, Hebrews 4 say we are naked unto him whom we have to do. See, we think we done cover them sins up. He's sitting there looking at. Could you imagine like this here? And theoretically, like how many of y'all will walk butt naked in front of your parents? I'm talking about as a grown adult. No, I'm talking about naked as the day you were born and naked as the day you die. Well, when you walking in sin, that's what you're doing with you. You walking in front of your father, butt booty naked, as the day you were born. And the crazy part is, you like the emperor with no clothes. You think you got on the fly outfit, and he looking at you like, this nigga here naked. Put on some clothes, boy. And he offering you the Ruach HaKodesh, that fine linen to put on, and you don't want to put it on. So therefore, all your sins is out. Your nakedness is out. You ain't even, at least Adam had enough sense to get a fig tree and try to cover it up. We don't even try to cover it up no more. See, look at Isaiah 3 and 8. Because that's the problem. The problem has been and will be sin. And until the people deal with that, ain't nothing. Look here, man. I'll be honest with you, man. Ain't nothing this people ever gonna do prosper as long as there's a hands put in there into it that's meddling with sin. It ain't never gonna prosper. And you should know that during the time of Achan. When Achan took up the accursed thing, it wasn't nothing prospering in the camp because sin was in the camp. They had to get rid of the sin for them to be at peace. You know what I'm talking about? Nothing this people will ever do. I don't care if you in the word or you're not in the word. I don't care if you know you a Hebrew. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you the nigga around the corner. As long as these people is meddling and fooling with sin, nothing this people do will ever prosper. And nor should it. To be 100% honest with you. You can't fool with sin and think Yahuwah gonna bless it, because he ain't. That's why I was trying to tell the people, they talking about Russell Wilson and Sierra blessed it. I said, there ain't no damn Christian. That hoe went out the door with her titties and her monkey eye. She just as much as a Christian as a dog as a cat. Because no God-fearing woman would dare walk out the door like that, and no God-fearing man would let his wife go out the door like that. So he a hypocrite who give a damn what they talking about. You just like him because she was a hoe who was getting smutted out, and a nigga married her, and you like the narrative of a hoe being loved. That's all it is. And if you like that narrative, that's your business. But let's not pretend that that's not what that is. That's a woman who was smutted out, and somebody loved her, and you like the narrative of somebody saving this hoe. He Captain Kirk, like Master P used to say. He put his cape on and he saved that hoe. He didn't listen to Project Pat. He should have. Because she don't want to be saved. Because if she did, she would have brought a funky behind out the door like that. That hoe played the role of a Christian all the way through for this jackass to marry her. And he went for it because he wanted that monkey. Because one thing about it, when she gonna pretend to be something she ain't until she tired of being what she ain't and show you who she is. She in there like this, say, I love Jesus. No, you don't, hoe. And this stupid nigga sitting next to this hoe while she's twerking with no drawers on. And he in the video like this here. I wouldn't give a damn if they didn't profess that they believed in the Lord, because now you blaspheming this man's name, you jackass. If he was just a football player and this my old lady, I wouldn't give a damn. But you tried to put the Lord on it. You wanted to put Yahuwah on it. You opened yourself up to that, you hypocritical bastard. And now that's that, and all it make is all the freakos say, I want to pray Sierra's prayer. Well, you don't know who you praying to because you ain't praying to Yahuwah. Because if you think Yahuwah sending a man like that, he's sending a man like that for you to go to hell. He ain't sending that man for you to be saved. I can tell you that. And I don't give a damn who don't like it. You don't know that freak hoe. I was telling her that last night. I said, when we were growing up, when Sierra came out, nobody looked at Sierra and be like, dang, she fine. Niggas thought that was a man. And I ain't even saying that on niggas was saying there wasn't no social media. So it was like, they was like, boy, she looked like a dude. She was not a sex symbol to nobody. Nobody wasn't looking at Sierra like, oh boy, I sure want Sierra. No, man. No, I'm saying, but but she my age. I'm saying she my age. She's 38 years old. Nigga, just 5 years, nigga, we're in the same generation.
I mean, 5 years, she in my generation. What you saying?
You under her.
She 5 years away from me. If she 38?
Yeah, she 38 years
All
old.
right, that's 5 years.
What you is?
I'll be 33 in February.
Well, it ain't February, so that means she'd be 39, so she's 6 years in front of you.
When's her birthday?
Shoot, clearly, I think she's 38 now. She's already turned 38. Her birthday just passed, remember? The nigga got her the Waffle House.
Yeah.
So she just turned 38.
Yeah, so that's 5 years.
No, that's closer to 6. Sir.
No, it ain't.
That's closer to 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's about 3 months. She 9. That's closer to 6 than 5. Brother. Closer to 6 than 5. You know what I'm talking about?
It's 5 years, some slight change.
There's some slight change.
Slightly.
Slight.
No, actually 4 years since we changed.
No, that ain't no 4 years. Slow on, East, man. That ain't no 4 years. That nigga trying to creep it on down. You trying to get younger, you trying to get older. Which one is? You know what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, though, like, man, nobody look here. I would tell you like, I didn't even know who Future was until she married this nigga. No, I said me. I said me. I didn't say y'all. I said me. I didn't even know when they was like she left this toxic dude. I didn't even know who this nigga was. I knew who Russell Wilson was because I follow football. So I watched him at North Carolina State. Then he went to Wisconsin. I didn't give a damn about his personal life. I thought the nigga could play ball pretty well. You know what I'm talking about? But I didn't know who Future was. Because you know how a lot of women be like, oh, they just mad because she left him. I'm like, nigga, who is Future? Nigga, when I got out of prison, man, I wasn't listening to none of these nigga music. I didn't know who these people were. These are my Future. Who is this nigga? Why is he important? Then I didn't hear a Future song till about 2015, 2016. You talking about, oh, like, why would I would hear them? Nigga, I wasn't listening to the radio and I wasn't following these people. So where would I, and I wasn't riding around anybody who was listening to it. So where would I hear his music at? You know what I'm saying? I ain't know who this nigga was, and this nigga still ain't important to me. So you want me to feel bad, feel happy because you had a baby with a degenerate to move to another degenerate? Just because this degenerate is clean cut? He's still a degenerate. But you know, that's how black people feel. As long as the degeneracy look handsome, I'm cool with it. They both degenerates, as far as who is concerned. Now I'm just saying that it's like, man, I don't be knowing who these people is, man. Because it seems like a lot of people like, you don't want Sierra. How could you not want somebody to be happy who you don't know? I don't know this hoe. I just know this nigga a jackass. And it's going to cause a lot of women to want niggas to be like this nigga. You know what I'm talking about? And what a lot of women don't understand is there's no men walking the earth to look at him and say, I want to be like him. And it's not because he's married to her. It's because of him. That goes to a point I told y'all a long time ago. What women look at in respect is not the same thing that men look at in respect. You respect him for marrying that woman, and that's your business. But no man looks at him and say, this is the pinnacle of masculinity. That's what I just had to tell a chick the other day. They talking about where all the alpha men at now. Saucy Santana say he want to fight. I said, baby, let me tell you something. Only reason I knew about this because I seen a clip of Umar saying, we don't want to see that. Because the faggot said he was going to clap academics' cheeks after he beat him up. That's more than rape. But what I was telling her was, there's not a man on earth that looks at DJ Academics and say, this is the pinnacle of masculinity. There's not a man on earth that look at DJ Academics and say, I want to be like that man. That's a man I want to model myself after. Just because these niggas on the internet and use these internet talking points do not mean that men value this man. Because women value this man because he got money and status. A man will look at this man and say, this nigga's a pussy. I don't care how much money he got. I don't care how much fame he got. This nigga's a goofy. This nigga is not a man. Because what grown man argues with women on the internet and then cries when a sissy challenges you to a fight? But I told you when I was in prison, boy, I seen a couple dudes get beat up by a sissy. The last thing you ever want to do is fight a sissy and get faded. Because I seen it, boy. I seen it, boy. When I was at Jefferson Correctional Institution, boy, I remember that one there, boy. The punk name was Honey Bun. But that nigga was about 6'2". That nigga had hands. You understand me? And boy, he beat the dog snot out this nigga. He dog walked that nigga. You understand me? Right in front of the rec yard, boy. He dog walked that nigga. I'm like, boy, you can't run up on no punk if you know you can't beat him. Because not only did you get beat up, you got beat up by a Peter Puffer, a rump wrangler. You never live that down. You can't walk around the yard and be like, oh yeah, that nigga Honey Bun beat that nigga up. How you gonna live with that? But I say that to say just because that nigga a faggot don't mean that's still a man. Saucy Santana, I done seen the photograph, but that's a big old fat burly nigga now. That nigga look like he gonna headbutt a nigga, it's over. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was the punk name, man. The punk name was Honey Bun, man. I don't know why that nigga Honey Bun. I ain't care. I ain't know the nigga like that. You know what I'm talking about? But like I told y'all, when I was at Jefferson Correctional Institution, that was a psych prison. So when you go to psych prisons in the state of Florida, it'd be a lot of sissies there. It'd be a lot of sissies. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it, son. After that, matter of fact, run me that Isaiah 3:8 real quick.
For Jerusalem is ruined, and Yehuda is fallen, because their tongue and their doings against Yahuwah to provoke the eyes of his esteem. The show of their countenance do witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide not.
They hide what?
They hide not.
They hide what?
Not.
See that there? You walk around with your sins out, you like Sodom. They wasn't hiding what they were doing in Sodom and Gomorrah. Listen, I'm not mentioning Sodom and Gomorrah because of the sodomy, because we know it was way more than sodomy going on there. It wasn't just sodomy going on there. There was oppression. There was extortion. There was fornication. There was idolatry. They just known for sodomy because of what the men wanted to do to the angels. But it was all manner of wickedness going on there. Remember, Sodom and Gomorrah is an example to those who afterwards should live ungodly of the punishment that the ungodly should receive. That's what Sodom and Gomorrah is for. An example of this is what's going to happen to you. That's what's going to happen to you when you walk around with your sins out. Read that again.
For Jerusalem is ruined, Yehuda is fallen, because their tongue and their doings against Yahuwah to provoke the eyes of his esteem. The show of their countenance do witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide not.
They do what?
Hide not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Say you to the righteous that well, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings.
That's good. That's good. Now go to Genesis 3 and verse 8.
And they heard the voice of Yahuwah Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves.
They did what?
Hid themselves.
They did what?
Hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Elohim amongst the trees of the garden.
Give me verse 6.
And when the woman saw that the tree good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open,
And they were what?
Knew they were naked.
They knew they were what?
Naked.
And what else?
And they sewed fig leaves together. And
see,
made
you know the difference
aprons.
is they knew they had sin. They wanted to cover it up. We know we got sin, and we want you to see it. That's the world we live in. I'm gonna add this here too, because I think I told you this here. Dude had shared a video, or I seen a reel, excuse me. And they were talking, dude was saying, I think I told you this last night, dude say men were more nurturing than the women. And then the woman came at me laughing about what I had to say. I say, well, you ignorant woman. She say, men don't nurture nobody. I say, baby, when you look at the definition of nurture, I say that's pretty much what men do their entire lives. Do y'all recall the definition of nurture? Well, if you don't recall, let me help you out. Ephesians 5:27. Maybe this will help you out. This is also going along with keeping the fig tree so that you can eat the fruit thereof. Ephesians 5:27. Listen to it.
That he might present it to himself an esteemed church.
We'll give him 5:25 on general principle. After that, give me Hebrews 4 and 14 on top of that. Matter of fact, give me Hebrews 4 and 14:9 based on what we're talking about.
Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into Shamayim, Yahushua the son of
Make
Elohim.
it 13. I think we missed something. 13 might have been it.
Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but
Ain't nobody, he can see everybody.
But all things naked and opened unto the eyes of him with whom we have
See,
to
this
do.
go back to this where we come our problem in that is you naked before God and you think that he can't see you. But most of us are like what we read in Isaiah. And he was talking about Judah when he said this. They declare their sin like Sodom. They hide it not. You don't care that he can see you naked. You don't care that he can see it. Come on and give me that, what it was?
Ephesians 5 and 25.
5 and 25.
Husbands, love your wives, even as Mashiach also loved the assembly and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself an esteemed assembly, not having spot or wrinkle.
Now, Paul, this is what I told the lady. I think I told you this last night. I say you like, I think I did. From infancy to 5 years old. That's when the woman's impact in the growth and development of the child is the highest. You know what I'm talking about? After that, the father take over from 6 to 7 year old till he's dead. I'm not talking about till the child's dead, because preferably, if all things considered, and you would be merciful that you would die before the child would die. You know what I'm talking about? But you'll be aiding in the growth and development of your child till they dead. Now, there's a certain level of aiding in the growth and development of your child that the woman would do, but it won't have the same level of impact that the father's going to have. It's not to say that she just stops when they turn 5, but her impact will be way less, because especially if it's a boy. You know what I'm talking about? Especially if it's a boy. She was like, I've never seen a man nurture in my life. I said, you have seen men nurture in your life, but you have been taught in America that nurturing by a woman is something emotional, when that is not what nurturing is. Have you ever heard somebody say you nurtured your talent? Have you ever heard that before? That ain't got nothing to do with no emotion. This nigga train athletes. He's nurturing their skills and ability in the particular sport that they participate in. And he get paid to do it. You know what I'm talking about? See what, and then she responded to me and she said that, if we do this here, if we overly nurture, then you say we make them weak. I say, baby, you can't overly nurture anybody. What you calling overly nurturing is emotional coddling and whatever. I can't think of a word to describe it, but it damn sure ain't nurturing. How can you overly aid in the development and growth of another person? How could you overly do that? You can't overly, I'm going to overly teach you so you can overly grow and overly develop. When have you ever heard somebody say somebody's overly developed and it didn't pertain to their physicality? When have you ever heard somebody say you're overgrown, but it didn't pertain to physicality? So you too smart? You're too mature. Have you ever heard somebody say, oh, that nigga's too mature, and it wasn't said in a negative connotation? See, when you hear it in that aspect, it don't make no damn sense. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on. Read this Exodus 19 and 10 that Brother Marvin slid in here.
And Yahuwah said unto Moses, go unto the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes and be ready against the third day. For the third day, Yahuwah will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. You shall set.
That's good. Now slide back to Ephesians 5 and 25. And I think what she probably got upset at is I think she thinking somebody is diminishing a woman, and this ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just having proper understanding of life. Because guess what the man has to do for the woman that the woman never do for the man. The man's supposed to nurture his wife. The book tell you that. You know, that's what she told me. I don't subscribe to the Bible written and such. I say, baby, that's a personal problem. You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm like, I told you this several times. I told you this last night. As a man, you should not be looking for a woman to nurture you. If a woman has to nurture you, your parents failed. More specifically, your mom. You know what I'm talking about? Because she would have taught you how to be able to aid and say like this here, I do this here for you, I do this here for you. Daddy take over. If you walk around looking for, you're not looking for a woman to nurture you. You looking for another mama. That's why I say your mama failed you. Because that means your mama didn't give you the proper love you needed. And now you looking for that love from a mother, from a woman who ain't got that type of bond with you. Now, y'all ladies in here, y'all all know it will save Michael. Her time coming if the Lord allow. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all done carried that baby and felt that baby grow inside your womb. You know what I'm talking about? You felt the movements, you felt the kicks, you hated every minute of the discomfort and everything that went along with it until that big head nigga came out and started crying and you looked him in the face. And just like John 16 said, you forgot about all of that because a man child has been born into the world. You know what I'm talking about? Now that bond that you got with that baby, you know what I'm talking about? Unless you just a low down, dirty, maggot, scallywag heifer. I'll never be broken. That's your baby. I carried it. When he pissed, I wiped it up. I was mad he pissed on my carpet, but I wiped it anyway. You know what I'm talking about? When I was changing his diaper and he pissed in my face and laughed at me when he did it because he knew what he was doing. That's still my baby. I hate you right now, you little big head bastard. You knew what you were doing. When he boo-booed on himself and it was stank, you didn't want to wipe it up, and that's my baby, and I wiped it. When you were tired, you fed it. You was tired at 2:30 in the morning, and this nigga wanted titty, but you gave him a titty. You know what I'm saying? And when he 12 years old, you ain't gonna see no 12-year-old boy. You gonna see that's not an old 2-year-old nigga you taught to use the toilet. You know what I'm talking about? And when he 27 years old with his own family, you gonna be like, but that's still my baby. You understand? Ain't no grown woman doing for that for you, boy. What's wrong with you? You didn't nurse on her teeth. She didn't wipe your butt. She didn't do none of that for you. She not finna love you like that, bro. I say that because you make sure you teach your son. Don't let your son around here thinking to make sure you find a woman love you like I do. Well, your son ain't never gonna find that. He ain't never gonna find that because ain't no woman gonna love you like you love him. You his mama. I know people don't like to hear that, but that's the reality, man. Ain't nobody gonna love you like your mama love you. It's not gonna happen. That's a different bond. That's why I told you it's different with a father to his daughter. You can't expect a man to love your daughter like you love her. You have a different bond with that child. That's your seed. You created that child. You voluntarily, based off the love you should have had for her mama, you produced that child. You have a different level of fidelity and responsibility to that little girl. That man is coming through and he got to volunteer to take that responsibility away from you for your daughter. He not going to love your daughter like you love her. He not going to interact with your daughter like you interact with her. It's going to be sexual tension and interactions between them two that you'll never have with your daughter unless you ought to go to prison for the rest of your damn life. You know what I'm talking about? I seen dudes say, I spoiled my daughter. That's your problem. Because now she going out here and thinking the man's supposed to spoil her. That man not finna spoil your daughter, man. That man, your daughter don't mean nothing to his life for him to do that. You did that because that's my baby girl. But now you got her out here thinking, a real man would do this here. That's what my daddy did. Well, marry your daddy then. Because you got to add some type of value to my life for me to do this for you. Who are you? That's why I say it's different for the little girls, because, hey, man, ain't nobody finna do that for you like your daddy. That's you your daddy's child. He loved you differently. This is a regular nigga off the street. He see you, the only thing he like, she pretty, I like her. But now what you gonna do? Because you're nothing in his life, but somebody he finds physically appealing. Why would he spoil you? Why would he do that? For what reason? Because your daddy did it for you? Well, stay at your daddy's house and ask him to do it. But guess what he's looking for you to do? Find a husband so you get the hell out of his house. Because I don't want to do this for you no more. Your mama getting me, you getting me. You got a little sister, she getting me too. I'm tired of it. You niggas got to go. Because now you know what's hitting his mind. I only signed up to do this for your mama. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to do it for you nigga too. This nigga 23. Oh yeah, man, we didn't get you a husband. We got to get you out of here. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest with you. That's what nigga you got to get out of here. Because I can't keep buying all y'all niggas. No, I can't do it. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna love, ain't no man walking this earth gonna love you like your daddy love you. It's not gonna happen. And the main reason why I say that, because it's one dynamic that most men don't look into, and that's the sexual dynamic. That once a man and a woman go to having sex, that dynamic between them changes. And that's not a dynamic you ever gonna have with your daddy, because you ain't looking at your daddy with some type of sexual interest. I hope you're not. There's some weird people out here in this world. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know I ain't lying. You know what I'm talking about? Some weird people out here. But theoretically, if you're a sane-minded person, that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So I just say that on both ends of the spectrum. Nobody should be expecting their child to grow up and find somebody who gonna love them like their parents love them, because they're not. You know what I'm saying? Now they should have the same level of honor, love, and respect and fidelity that their parents have, but the interaction is gonna be different. Indeed, said the love is supposed to be different, and the relationship is too, based on the individual. And definitely. But I say that because we're not trained to think like this in this society. That's why I mentioned, in this society, you got grown women looking for men to do them like their daddy do, and you got grown men looking for women to do them like their mama do. And then when these grown people meet each other, they getting upset because they not getting that, because they not understanding. That's a different dynamic. Them your parents. This person has no tie to you, no bond with you to do any of these things for you at all. They have to volunteer to be affiliated with you. You know what he said in Fences now. Now she say, I say that because you being spoiled, so people show love like that. No, I'm saying not spoiling you like your daddy man spoiled you. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't say it in general. Because it really came from the lady said, I don't know how true that is. Every man's different. She said she's heard from men that men don't want to deal with a woman who had her daddy because of XYZ. And I'm like, shoot, lying to me. I don't want to deal with no woman who ain't had her daddy. Me personally, I know why they say that, because some dudes feel like that's an easy mark. She ain't had no daddy. I can do XYZ. She looking at it is, I had a soft life. I got the princess treatment, and men don't want to deal with that. And it might not be none of that. It's just like you may have made a lot of demands and didn't give any value in return. Don't nobody want to be fooled up with that. You know what I'm talking about? But I know me personally, as a teen, you talking about an old lady? I don't want to be with no woman that ain't had her daddy. She more than likely gonna have problems that I don't want to deal with. I mean, being spoiled is you get what you want whenever you want. You get your way all the time. You get your way all the time.
Now I'm saying as far as what she's asking your definition.
What I seen spoil, you get what you want whenever you want, at every request and demand. Shoot, I mean, for me, it's just spoiled. I didn't say it was taking advantage. I didn't even reference it. Yeah, I mean, that's just spoiled to me. I said I knew a chick and she was like, you the only man ever told me no. Like, that's an individual. That's what they like, hey, you don't give me what I want, that's a problem.
I feel like spoiled is like, it's a negative connotation with it though, right? It's not like that's a negative thing.
Now, she added a different aspect in it of the individual, how they respond to it. But if you get spoiled, and especially if you didn't do anything to earn it.
I see what you said, because my church said, like, like you say, like, my kid's not going to be spoiled. Like, he said, I don't believe it's spoiled. Because he's like, it's a negative connotation. But I feel like when women say it's not to be like I'm a brat type thing, like, oh, I get things, I'm like,
right, that's how
I look at it is I don't care about none of that. You get what you earn. And if you don't do nothing, you don't get nothing. You know what I'm talking about? And you don't get something just because you exist or because you want it. You got to earn it. And a lot of people don't earn anything. So that's where the spoiling come in at, because you're receiving something for doing absolutely nothing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Which in turn, after a while, because you didn't earn it, you don't appreciate it, nor are you grateful for it. You begin to expect it And then when it is not given, then that's where temper tantrums come in at. And that's not saying for grown women. I'm just talking about for children more than anything. But some grown women throw temper tantrums with that. You know what I'm talking about? But it's more so because that's just how my people were. They didn't give us nothing. You had to earn it.
If you heard a man say, "I spoiled my wife," you thought that's a bad thing.
No, I would have to have the context of what is he talking about. My first thought would be this: what does she do for you? Because if you spoil your wife and she don't do nothing, you're a damn fool. Yeah, you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I spoiled my wife. Yes, she do. Usually if a man say he spoiled his wife, he usually is going to mention the value and benefit that woman add to his life right after that. You know what I'm saying? Usually, if she actually, because remember, what a man wants his wife to do is independent for each man. There's no universal broad stroke. Because what Stanley may value that he want his woman to do is not the same as what Dwight is going to want. And it's not the same what Civic's going to want. That's where a lot of women, because you end up messing with different men, you think because that's what Stanley like, I can get at the Civic, and Civic don't want that. That worked with him. You can't bring that to me. I'm a different man than him. You know what I'm saying? But if you add the value that man want and he rewards you for it, who to tell him he wrong? But if all you doing is sitting in the house, batting the eyes, looking cute, that nigga's an idiot. You're playing yourself. You stupid. Because she don't add no value or benefit to your life. You did that for some vagina? You might as well have got a prostitute. You just had it so it was in the house. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, yeah, your wife, look here, but we just talking about this because somebody asked me about that post about women with their mouths being akin to men putting their hands like this here, right? And they was like, are you comparing the two? I'm like, no, I ain't comparing the two. But one thing I know, you don't give no woman who talk to you any kind of way. You don't give her no gifts. You don't take that nigga nowhere. You know why? Because you ain't supposed to be there no more. Once she go to getting abusive out of her mouth with her words, she don't get nothing. You don't get nothing. Absolutely nothing. Why am I'm rewarding bad behavior. I'm telling you that you can behave in a negative fashion towards me and I will still reward you for it. You know what I'm talking about? I can tell you that you don't do nothing. There is nowhere in life where you can do nothing and get rewarded for it. If you don't do nothing in school, you get rewarded with F's. They don't pass you. If you don't do nothing at your job, you get fired. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't do nothing in your business, you go out of business. There is nothing in life where you sign up for a position and do nothing and get rewarded unless the owner of the operation is a certified jackass imbecile. That's it. I done told you that before. How many times I told you? These children shouldn't go nowhere and get nothing if they don't deserve it. You shouldn't take them because they're kids. You shouldn't take them because that's my baby. If that nigga ain't been doing what you wanted him to do, if they've been disrespectful or rude, they shouldn't go nowhere. I wouldn't care what came to town. And I wouldn't care who wanted to take them. Because there's been plenty of times, boy, me and my cousin ain't do what we supposed to do. They didn't give a damn fair, mayor, game, whatever. You ain't going. You know what I'm saying? You're not going. Because all you doing is telling them it don't matter how I behave, I can get what I want. And that's where spoiling coming at. You know what I'm talking about? That's really what spoiling is. I get rewarded no matter how I behave. I get what I want. Because like when people say, you spoiling that baby, you can't spoil no baby with love. That's the most dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. You spoiling that baby by picking him up because the baby want to be held. That's what babies do.
I feel like that's my perspective. I'm not looking at it in the gift perspective. I'm looking at it in the relationship perspective.
Oh, yeah, no. I ain't talking about like that.
Like, you're spoiling this person by spending time with them.
Oh, no.
Love the affection, not just with your child, but with the
Now, see, you can spoil people with time if you giving your time and it's taken away from the things that you ought to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's some men who do that. It's some men who sacrifice what they ought to do to give it to a woman, and then things fall apart because they invested too much time into something where they should have been, I need to handle this over here first. Because this is more important. Because if I don't do this, then we ain't never gonna have no time because we're gonna be in a van down by the river. But no, I'm talking about more people talking about spoil, they talking about material stuff. Because you can't spoil nobody with love. How can you give somebody too much love? I don't even think that's possible. I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible. I don't believe that that's possible in any shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? The only time you don't give somebody some love is when they don't behave themselves in a fashion where they deserve to receive your love. If you act like a nigga, you know what I'm saying? If you interacting with a man and you rude, you're unpleasant, you know what I'm talking about? Why would this man want to give you any love? Now they didn't like to see, like I said, this nigga was around here body slamming this woman and all that there in the third. She shouldn't have gave him no love. She should have left. You know what I'm saying? You don't stick around for a nigga for round 4. You leave. You know what I'm saying? If this nigga calling you all out your name and calling you all type of dirty dogs and whores and sluts and all this other type of stuff, you don't give that nigga no love. No, he doesn't deserve it. But no, that's more so. When people hear spoiled, they more be talking about material stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's only one thing in this life that you get that you didn't earn, and that was the grace of the Lord. And then after that, you got to go to work. You didn't do nothing to get the forgiveness, but after that, you got to earn your salvation, if you would. Not earn the salvation as forth as the offering of the sacrifice, but to prove yourself worthy of the selection of Elohim in itself. You know what I'm talking about?
You gotta prove yourself to get the gift.
Yeah, you got to prove yourself to get the gift. That's why he say, I tie the reins in the hearts. Give every man according to his works. You got to prove you out. See if you are who you say you are. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. What you holding?
Ephesians 5.
Yeah, 5:25. Come on with us, man.
Husband, love your wives, even as Mashiach also loved the assembly and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself an esteemed assembly, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be kadosh and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that love his wife, love himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourish and cherish it.
See, nourish. Tell them what that is in the Greek, man.
That's ektrepho. That's to nourish up to maturity, to nourish, to nurture, to bring up.
To nurture, to bring up, or to teach, to train, to instruct. Men do that all the time. You know what I'm talking about? Pretty much. And what I told her was, it's not just men do that to women. They do that for children. They do it for other men. You realize, man, if you had a mentor, that man was nurturing you. You know what I'm talking about? He had to be nurturing you because he was aiding in your growth and development. He was nurturing you. Like I say, we only look at, because what do people say? Women are natural nurturers. And I don't think that that's the word that probably should be used.
Exactly right.
It should be that probably women are naturally affectionate and caring and consoling and comforting. You know what I'm talking about? As far as it comes to children and the people that they love. Because what we call nurturing is not what nurturing is by definition. Let's return back to Song of Solomon. 5 and 2. That ain't muffin, man. You don't look like you behaving.
I sleep, but my heart wake. The voice of my beloved that knock. Open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled.
Come
my
back
head.
to Revelation 3. I think we didn't get to what I want. Read verse 20. What y'all over there doing? Abigail.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
And knock.
If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me.
He'll do what with him?
Will sup with him, and he with me.
And what else?
To him that overcome will I grant to sit with me in my
that's
throne.
Good. Now give me Luke 11 and 3. Well, if you're going to lay down, lay down.
To give us day by day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, for we also forgive everyone that is indebted to us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And he said unto them, which of you shall have a friend, and shall go unto him at midnight, and say unto him, friend, lend me 3 loaves. For a friend of mine, and his journey is come to me, and I have nothing to set before him. And he from within shall answer and say, trouble me not, the door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed. I cannot rise and give you. I say unto you, though he would not rise and give him because he is his friend, yet because of his importunity, he will rise and give him as many as he need. And I say unto you, ask and it shall be given you, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you.
Knock and it shall be what?
Opened unto you.
There's one thing about it, man. It's just anything in life, man. He say knocking it'll be open. You won't never know if somebody gonna open the door if you don't knock. You don't never know if you're gonna receive something if you don't ask. You ain't never gonna get nothing if you don't go after it. Now, see, I mentioned that because that's also an aspect that happens with some people who are spoiled, is that they never, and this is more so on the man side of things, because that spoiling leads to coddling. You know what I'm saying? He never has the mind to want to go do anything for himself. You know what I'm saying? He don't ever have the mind to do it. He ain't never gonna knock. He ain't never gonna seek. He ain't never gonna ask. He gonna wait for somebody to bring it to him. I told you a long time ago, man, when I was hustling in Justina, man, these dyke hoes whose house I was trapping out of, they were talking about my homeboy, man. They were like, see, you ain't like him. See, you greedy. See, you get it served and you go catch it. And I said, that's why that nigga broke. Because he waiting on something to come. You know what I'm talking about? And versus, you know what? Now, we all know by what man, of course, we talking about before the word, but of course, we know with the word, he said, which one of you by taking one thought can add one cubit to your stature? You can plot, plan, scam, and do whatever it is that you want to do. And you can get your black behind outside and go hustle hard as every bit of ability you got in you. And if Yahuwah don't want you to increase, you're going to be broke today, broke tomorrow, and broke the next day. You know what I'm talking about? Because that ain't in your hands, son. Because, you know, a lot of people like to say that faith without works is dead. You can pray, but then you got to do something. You can get up and go do something, but if it ain't for you, who will to happen? You're going to be broke today, nigga. I'm tell you that right now. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what you thought, planned, or scammed. You know what I'm talking about? It don't. And everybody in here know that. You know what I'm talking about? Because you know what he try to teach you when you think, I'm going to make something happen. Nah. He going to let you know, I'm going to show you who going to make something happen. And it sure ain't you, sir. It sure ain't you. You know what I'm talking about? I can put you in the position, but I can move the pieces on the board however I want to move. You understand me? Let me show you something, man. Proverbs 16:3.
10 feet away, catching all your shit.
I'm talking about you can be 10 feet away, see a nigga get all your custos. You know what I'm talking about? You won't pick that up off the floor, nigga. You're going to have to be out here a little bit more. And the same token that if that man opened the floodgates, ain't a demon from hell can stop that stuff from flowing. Ain't not nan one. Come on, man. Tell me what Proverbs 16:3 say.
Commit your works unto Yahuwah.
Commit them what?
Your works unto Yahuwah.
To who?
Yahuwah.
Why?
And your thoughts shall be established.
Come on.
Yahuwah have made all for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone proud in his heart, an abomination to Yahuwah.
I don't like them.
Hand to hand he shall not be unpunished. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged. By the fear of Yahuwah, depart from evil.
Listen to him.
When a man's ways please Yahuwah, he make even his enemies to be at shalom with him.
Listen to him.
Better a little with righteousness.
He say better than a little with righteousness.
Than great revenues without right.
Yeah, it's better for you to have a little bit with being righteous than to have a whole lot and go to hell, nigga.
A man's heart devises his way.
A man's heart plan his way, but guess what? Who direct your steps?
But Yahuwah direct his steps.
So it don't matter what you plan. It don't matter what you plan. It don't matter. See, that be the hard part for us to accept. You know why? Because you ain't in control of your life as much as you would like to believe. Do you have control over yourself? Sure you do. But do you have control over your life? Absolutely not. You know what I'm talking about? Because you're going to go where Yahuwah tell you to go. And you're going to move how Yahuwah tell you to move. And you're going to think how Yahuwah tell you to think. And you might not think Yahuwah got something to do with it. But I'm here to tell you, he running all that. We know that from Amos, don't it? He said he declared to a man what is what? Thought going to be. That man, didn't he just say, read that verse again, man?
Say a man's heart devises his way.
But who direct his steps?
But Yahuwah directs his steps.
Well, you can devise your way all you want to. You can devise your life all you want to. But it's Yahuwah calling the play. At the end of the day, you just a man in the huddle waiting to hear what you supposed to do. If you are offensive lineman, you waiting on your blocking assignment. If you the running back, you trying to know if you need to be running a zone or we running a power. If you a wide receiver, am I running a go? Am I running a dig? Am I running a comeback? Am I running a post? Am I running a hitch? Am I running a slant? Am I running a crossing route? That's all you waiting for. He the quarterback. He called the play. You don't call no play. And we ain't talking about the quarterbacks these days where they call the play in your helmet. I'm talking about during Terry Bradshaw them days where the quarterback called it in the huddle. Ain't no coach sending no play in. I call my own plays. Yeah, that's what Yahuwah do. Ain't nobody in his head. He ain't got no helmet on with a green dot, and he telling them to run Z/right. He calling that play. That's how that goes. And you could be like, I'm going to go off script. I'm going to run a comeback when he told you to run a post, and you ain't going to get the ball. Because I'm going to look at you run that post, and I'm going to see you wide open, and I'm going to throw it to somebody else, because that ain't what I told you to do. I'm gonna show you, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Come on back to songs of sound. We don't like to hear that. That's what I was talking about last night. Are we seeking Yahuwah's will or our own will? Just because that's what you want, is this separate from how you manage what you were given? Yeah, it is kind of separate. Because then whatever you get, you know, you got to be wise with it. But even what you get, he got to give it. You know what I'm talking about? But that is different though, because when he say you can't add 1 cubit to your stature, you know what I'm talking about? It don't matter what plan, to be able to have something to manage to give, he got to allow you to get it. And if he don't allow you to get it, you won't never be able to manage it because you ain't gonna never have it. But I'm more so on the aspect is that, like you said, that's in that Matthew 6. He say that in and in the loop, like which one of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit to his stature. Let's take a look at it. Let me see if it's in Luke. Hey, stop.
Yeah.
Because it might be in Luke versus in Matthew.
Matthew 6 and 27.
Yeah, I just want to make sure thought is in that one. There it is. Matthew 6 and 27. Read it to him.
Say, which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit unto his stature?
Now tell him what thought is by definition in this passage.
That's mirum nail. That's to be anxious, to be troubled with cares, to care for, to look out for a thing, to seek, to promote one's interests.
Matthew
To take
6 and
thought.
27. He say, no matter, he basically telling you there's not a worry, a care, an anxiety, your own self-interest that you can have that can add 1 inch to your height. There's not a thought that you can give that can add to your personal position. No, she said she just asking because some people can get stuff and fumble through it. But then he also said, hey, you can get stuff, you can mismanage it, you can get stuff, and just before you know it, just like he said you make money to put it in a bag with holes because as soon as you get it, it's gone. You know what I'm talking about? Now, of course, those situations are always different. Now, see, like he know. You know what I'm saying? As forth as like if you clock in on a job, you know what you make. You know what I'm saying? But if you killing what you eating, things can be different. And if things can be different, you can get something, and as soon as you get it, it's gone because you got to pay for something. You be like, yeah, I got 5 bands coming, but that 5 bands gone as soon as it touch your hands. I just seen a lady say, people talk about an entrepreneur can make $3K in a day, but they don't want to talk about how you go 2-3 weeks and don't make nothing. But of course, you know, that's the ugly side of the game. Of course, y'all seeing the ugly side of the game with Janae White and everybody talking about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about her specifically, but making a decision, because that could be not, man, you giving a nigga $56,000 and you ain't do your due diligence on what you were giving $56,000 to. You know what I'm saying? Now it's gone. Now you trying to do everything in your power to get it back. And then you got some people who, I remember the first time, man, I went and met somebody at a property, man, dude was talking about he wanted to sell it. It was probably about 2018, 2019. And dude bought a house, overpaid for it. You know what I'm talking about? Didn't have the bread to finish rehabbing it. This was out there in Lackawanna. And the nigga had to sell it, and he wanted to sell it for so high because he was going to take a loss. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't, but he knew he wasn't going to get the price that he wanted, so he was going to have to take the loss. Because sometimes people make moves to make more money, and that junk don't go how you want it to go, and you take a loss. But that be the part of business that, like we were talking about this other day, like, well, they say Amazon didn't make a profit for 20 years. They just talking about how AEW, they don't know if they profitable. Because most of the time you look at business and you look at the money somebody making, but you're not looking at, and I didn't know that because I was just talking to Jimmy about it, saying you're not looking at what had to be spent to even make that money. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell them boys all the time, nigga, y'all get paid before I do. So if the job get done, you thinking they thinking in their mind, as soon as we get done, they pay you. That's not how this works. Depending on who you doing business with. So you can have a week where, okay, I might have had jobs that might have produced $6,000 in revenue. but I had to spend $2,000, and now I gotta wait for this nigga to pay me, but I still got jobs to do next week that I gotta pay to get them done too, and that revenue ain't came to replace what I spent to get the first job done to get the 6 bands. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that junk happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? So now you gotta try to make sure you can do this here to get stuff done, because some niggas don't like to pay. Or don't like to pay swiftly. Because I think everybody in here been bucked. You been bucked before? You know what I'm saying? I just had a nigga did me like that. Nigga, they supposed to pay me $4,200. They want to pay me 2 racks.
Y'all forgot about it.
You know what I'm saying? That junk sting too, boy. You done spent this bread and a nigga ain't paid you, man. Now you in the hole, cause that money gone. And if you got niggas working for you, they gotta be paid whether them niggas paid you or not. Yeah, that be the dark. Them niggas don't get on them podcasts and talk about that. I can tell you that. Y'all already know that nigga bucked me for 17, damn near 20 bands. Boy, I rode all the way down south about my goddamn money, man. Pull right up to their office. They like, what you here for? You owe me $18,000, nigga. Hey, you mean what I'm here for? Hell no, them niggas thinking about money. You know what I'm talking about? But it didn't matter. It was just the point of, I'm coming to see you about mine, boy. Straight up. Somebody got to talk to me.
At least it smells good.
I got to talk to somebody. Hell, you mean?
You don't want to pay.
You know what I'm talking? But they were so, them crackers was scared. They were like, where did nigga come from? Well, I didn't want my money, man. You know what I'm talking about? Man, I just want my money, man. You know what I'm talking about? And I told her, I said, you ain't even got to give me the $7,500 that we ain't work for. Just give me my 12, nigga. That's all I'm asking for. You know why? Because I had them window people come out here, man, and I owe them people $5,000, man. Them people did what they supposed to do. Now, you don't want to pay me. Nigga, I can't pay them because you won't pay me. That's why when you see in business, a lot of people have a lot of lawsuits and all that type of stuff, man. That's why when you hear Dame Dash say lawsuits is a part of business, I'm trying to tell you, it's an integral part of it. Happen all the time. Because people who ain't involved in it, they don't have no idea. Niggas don't pay. And when I say niggas, I ain't talking about black folks. People don't pay, and they'll buck you and be like, nigga, see me in court. What you gonna do? Straight out, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna pull up on me with no fire. You not gonna fight me about it. Sue me. Put a lien on it. I don't give a damn. I ain't giving you nothing. Yeah, it happen all the time. And when you ain't in that, you be confused. What you mean the people ain't pay you? Nigga, they didn't pay me. Well, why didn't they pay you? Call him and ask him, nigga. I don't know. Because this nigga now, it's a nigga owe me $600 right now. That nigga been owing me since September. Yeah, damn, trying to call the nigga, he don't even answer the phone. It's another nigga, this nigga owe me $1,100. I show you my square job, them invoices sitting in there. Nigga ain't paid them yet. You got them, nigga. I know you did. And send it to your email. Last time that nigga said, yeah, I meant that. I'm gonna get with you at the end of the week. I want to ask you some questions about that. I ain't heard from this nigga since. I said, boy, you gonna make me come to your house, boy. I know where you live at. What's wrong with you? Yeah, nigga feel like I don't want to pay. Some people get in their mind, I don't want to pay. That's what a nigga mad with Janae White about. They say she don't want to pay. What you gonna do? You gonna go to jail? And guess what? It's money I had to spend to get them jobs done. That money gone. That money gone. If a nigga don't feel like he want to pay you, they ain't gonna pay you. The Quran said, I work for a building contractor over here, and one of the clients owe him over 400 bands. Sean said, it's definitely a client trained with me, and see, she was coming back with the payment and never came back. Nigga hit you with it. I gotta go to the bank. But nigga hit you with it. I gotta hit the bank real fast. I already know my money ain't coming.
You gotta hit him at the book. I'm gonna phone you.
I already know my money ain't coming. But 400 bands? Can you imagine somebody owing you 400 bands? Do you understand the level of money you had to spend to get a job done for a nigga to owe you 400 bands? He had to spend at least 100. I mean, and being a contractor, you can't do nothing but one or two things: hit that lawsuit or put a lien. Because in that line of work, you so accustomed to people doing that you be like, you know what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Because boy, people won't pay, boy. He said he worked for a big construction company, so yeah, they used to. I got to see you in court. Because see, big companies know that little companies don't have the money to litigate. Because the money you're going to spend to get your money back, you're going to break even. And they know it. They know it. That's why a lot of them put in their contracts, they put in indemnity clauses. You know what I'm talking about? So that you can't sue them. Or with construction companies, they always give you a waiver form they want you to sign. They're saying that if we pay you, you can't put no lien on us. You know what I'm talking about? Because they know it when you're dealing with property and you do work on the property and then people don't pay you, you can put a lien on it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you make them people pay. Go downtown, you file a contractor's lien, and yeah, that's how you make them people pay you. Because they cloud the title on the house or cloud the title on the property. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, cloud it. Contractor's lien. Yes, any of y'all who do some contractor work, nigga don't pay you. You know what I'm saying? You can file it yourself. You Google it, you know what I'm talking about? You go right downtown, file it yourself. Put a lien on that hole. Because I was going to do that with that old folks home and that doggone white dude that owed me for that. Because remember, them cracker buck me and the property preservation cracker buck me for 10 racks at the same time. So I had them got butt at about 30 bands. I wrote down that they went to talking. It just for me is, I ain't calling on the phone because you giving me the runaround. So I'm going to have to come down here and I'm going to talk to the president of the company face to face. No, because they already know it, nigga. We're a bigger company. You can sue me. I had already talked to lawyers. They telling me you could get your money. But by the time you this, that, and the third, it may not be worth it. Those companies know that. What are you going to do? The only resolution is to go to court. The time period to put a lien on the property had already passed. So I couldn't put a lien on the property. You got to put a lien on the property within like 30 to 90 days of non-payment.
Would you do your payment methods differently now?
I mean, there's no different way to do it because business is based off trust. There's really nothing you can do. You can send a nigga an invoice, and it's on them if they gonna pay it.
I'm saying like once you send an invoice before, so hey, I'm not doing nothing to.
Oh, I mean, nah, if a nigga ain't paid me and they asking me to do additional work, man, you already know, man. Like a New York nigga say, you know, they can, you know what I'm talking about? I mean, but see, it depends on what you're doing, because most people not gonna pay you up front. Most people not gonna pay you up front because a lot of contractors get money up front and don't do the work.
That's what they do. They say my dad, my mama,
Oh, to my Leon?
Yeah.
That's what he be doing?
That's what he used to, I don't know if he's still doing that.
That's why Steve in jail. I know a dude, he in jail for that. He was getting money up front to do jobs, and he wasn't
You
doing
pay him up front. You aren't gonna see that.
$20,000 deposit, $40,000 deposit. Now what I do for a living, ain't nobody giving me no money up front to go pick up no trash. Ain't nobody giving me no money up front to clean no house. Ain't nobody giving me no money up front to clean the vision works. You know what I'm saying? They're not paying you nothing up front. Pay you up front. I'll pay you when you're done. Because your payment is going to be contingent on the job being completed. Now, it's different if you're putting up a large amount of funds, but then you got certain contractors in this city that they got enough resources that they don't require money up front. But at the end of the day, I'm be honest with you, there is no way in business to guarantee that somebody going to pay you. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because you're out and you can't control what another person does. It's outside of your control. Yeah, it's just a part of business. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know that. I know that because I sold dope. Nigga credit nigga some dope, nigga don't pay you. You know what I'm talking about? You might front a nigga some work, nigga don't pay you. Y'all hear all these niggas talking about I ran off on the plug. What you thought that was? Nigga fronted them something here, I ain't paying it. Only difference in the street, somebody gonna kill you. In business, they like, Ain't nobody gonna kill you in business. You either gonna sue them or take the loss. That's it. You either gonna sue them or take the loss.
That's what I was saying.
It don't happen. It seems like that. It's rarely. You'll be surprised how many people get bucked. People get bucked in business for way more money than any of us will ever make in our entire life.
Only thing I see could do
But the only thing you get is a bad reputation, depending on like say in Jacksonville. Well, it doesn't matter in Jacksonville. Real estate, period, no matter what market you in, is a close-knit community. Everybody pretty much know everybody because everybody have to do business with everybody. So once you get a bad reputation for stuff like that, ain't nobody gonna do business. That's what ends up happening. You're gonna end up, the market is gonna push you out. But when you're dealing with, say, big companies, and you a small company, they feel like, screw you, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Sue me, nigga? You ain't got no money. This is their attitude. I'm dead serious. This is their attitude. Yeah, exactly. We were just watching Burial. That's exactly what it was. This is a doggone small town, doggone funeral director, nigga. I'm a billion nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get this stupid country nigga to sign this contract, and I'm gonna wait and starve him out and get all the bread. The only difference was it didn't work out how he thought it would. And that was a true story. Dude literally bankrupted this man's company. But that's what he did. I'm a bigger company, you smaller. What you gonna do? Sue me, nigga? I'm gonna bring in these big time lawyers and I'm gonna win. But what happened? He brought a nigga in from down south. And that nigga beat and he whooped it. And he whooped it.
Make sure you go to sleep tight.
Her man, Zoe say America bucking China. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't paying you.
Don't worry about it. They come. They have guys over the phone jumping off helicopters.
I've been telling you this because this is a reality of hustling that people don't talk about. Niggas buck. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of people not pay me. You know what I'm saying? Like this, that junk would be like, because sometimes it'd be like, you know what? I'm not even finna stress myself out about it. The nigga just not finna pay. I know the word. So I know if I did what I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna holler at my people. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna holler at the Lord. And I'm gonna let the Lord sort him out. That man say if you owe a man some money for his labor and you keep it till the sun go down and he cry unto me, he say, boy, that's sin unto you. So guess what? I hope he repaid him. I hope a dog came and humped him in his bed while he was sleeping.
I cried too.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? I hollered at him about it. You know what I'm saying? I hope you went to driving down the street and your transmission fell out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? I hope you needed some milk for your baby and you went to the store and they ain't had no more. And every store you went to, it wasn't no milk there. The baby too. He said, get the baby. He said, everybody. Everybody attached to you. I hope they all suffer. I hope you came home to make love to your wife and she was suffering from vaginal dryness and you couldn't get nothing.
Hey. That's right. Hey, that's an easy swap. No swindle.
You know what I'm saying? I hope you were getting up in the middle of the night and everywhere you went, you stubbed your toe. I hope you hit it on the edge of the bed. I hope you hit it on the door jam. I'm talking about, and I hope you be like, nothing click in your mind to cut on the light. You just kept on walking. I hope you stub all your toes, nigga. I hope they swell. You can't put your shoes on. Yeah, I don't want you to die, nothing. I want you to get gingivitis and everybody in the family say your breath stank. You know what I'm saying? I want you to go through some type of pain. You know what I mean? I don't want you to die, nothing. I just want you to suffer. And suffer in an unorthodox way, if the Lord see fit. You know what I'm saying? I want you to ride on your bicycle and the seat fall off and you sit on it.
I think it's a powerful ride.
Yeah, man.
I ain't being funny, but I just one. I was that ride home.
Oh no, I mean, but this was. Oh no, when I slid back, this is what they told me. They was like, we're gonna review this and review. So I still had, they didn't just say we not paying. They was like, oh, let me see this. Cause I came prepared, nigga. I got my contract, nigga. Who you think you dealing with, nigga?
You got dropped no piece
Yeah. But see, cause this the thing though. I'm not coming with no expectation that he gonna cut a check. Yeah. But goddamn it, you gonna talk to me like a man. All that bouncing on the phone, not hanging up. Well, we not finna do that. Or we not finna do that. You gonna look me face to face like a man, and we gonna have this conversation. I gotta do it because you owe me. I couldn't let that one go. And the reason why I couldn't let that one go without going to holler at him, because he was playing phone tag and playing games. So I take that as disrespect. So now you're going to look me in my eyes and you're going to talk to me like a man. You're going to give me my due respect as a man. Because you could have just said on the phone, we ain't paying. I could have dealt with that. I'll deal with my legal recourses after that. But to play and disrespect me as a man, oh no, I'm going to come holler at you, my G. I'm a man. You going to talk to me, bro? Because I did what I was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I went down there because it was another company out there working with us, and I seen the sissy when we were cleaning the urban air, because we cleaned that urban air too. You know what I'm talking about? So when I was cleaning the urban air, he was like, yeah, man, did the people ever pay you? I was like, hell no. He said, man, I had to go down there to pay me because they didn't want to pay me neither. He said, I went down there. I said, word? He said, yeah, I had to go down there. I said, and when he said that, I said, I'm going down there. He said he did. He didn't owe. They didn't owe him as much as they owed me. You know what I'm saying? My contract was for $27,900. You know what I'm saying? They had already paid me 10 bands, so I had put in a 10-band draw request because 5 of it had to go to the window cleaning company, and then after that they would have owed me $7,500. So that's what I was telling the dude. I don't even want the $7,500 because I didn't work for that. So I'm cool on that. Just give me the 10 because I need to pay these window people. Because now the window people going to be doing what? Threatening to sue me. You know what I'm saying? No, they never got paid. I ain't going to lie to you. They just left me alone after a while. No, I pulled, but the difference is I pulled up and told them what's going on. I say, yo, I invoiced these people. I put my draw in. They haven't paid me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the money from them so I can pay y'all. So it wasn't no just like I'm bucking you. I informed them on what was going on because I had used this company several times before. So I done business with these people. So now you ruining my relationship with these people because these were the people I used to clean windows when it was outside the scope of what it is that I could do. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I let them know what it was. I'm like, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't got that type of cash on hand. I'm waiting on them to pay me, and I'm fighting with them about it. And they respected it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't be like, no, we don't give a damn, nigga, give me my money. They was like, we understand. Because I've done business with these people before. So I didn't have a history with bucking them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, after that, I was like, yeah, definitely, Zo. I definitely said say less. I was there. I was there the next week. You know what I'm talking about? And the other dude who owed me the 10, he just moved because I damn so pulled up to his front door. Like, hey, my nigga, where my money at, bro? He around here on meth or whatever lies he telling. I'm talking. That's why these niggas better be lucky I serve the Lord. Because boy, I'd have put that iron on that crack. You understand me? Boy, I'd have went to prison about that. Because it ain't even about the money, man. You insulting me as a man. How you kicking your game? I would rather you say I'm not paying you than for you to play games with me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that roofing business.
And the people, he didn't pay his exposure.
Yeah, that's that
They
roofing.
actually went out there and was sticking it in front of his house until he was forced to have to pay.
I'm telling you, and that'd be the ugly part. If people don't pay, y'all don't know because you're not in that world. You know what I'm saying? Michael get a little taste, pause. You know what I'm saying? Then people don't like to pay. And she dealing with regular consumers, regular people. They don't like to pay. You called me to clean your house. You don't want to pay me. And you know what they like to do? They like to find a reason to not pay you. Oh, see that? You see that mark in that refrigerator? I can't pay for this. Oh, all the time. They'll find a see that carpet right there. It's not vacuumed. You didn't vacuum that. Oh, you didn't change the toilet paper. I'd be like, you ugly son of... Yeah, come on, man. Where you at? Songs of Solomon 5. Let me tell you something, man. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to kill what you eat, boy, but it ain't what people sell it to you, boy. It's a whole nother world when you get out here in it, man. You hear that junk in the music business, niggas don't pay. Oh, how may I help you, Abigail? You Ab and Gail? Or you Abigail? At the end of the day, they say, ain't that what they say about babies? They said the baby ain't want to pay nobody. Nigga say Lil Wayne been kissing this nigga in the mouth for 25 years. This man ain't want to pay him no money. Can you imagine kissing the nigga in the mouth and he owe you $30 million and he don't want to get to you?
But he said he wanted more than that.
You done kiss this nigga in the mouth. He be like, but damn, if I kiss you in the mouth, you usually give me my money. And nigga say, nah, give me another kiss. Oh, that nigga hit that nigga with a mating call. You know what I'm talking about? Well, if I kiss a nigga in the mouth, he don't give me $30 million. Boy, I'll be upset. You kissing this nigga in the mouth, he ain't gave my goddamn money. You ugly bastard, you. That's how you know he was touching him. He was fondling with that boy. What he say? That nigga say, I told that nigga big and loose. I told you when nigga loose like that, he been fondled with. You don't know what I'm talking about. That junk was funny to me. That nigga said, I don't like this nigga. Something about this nigga pissed me off. I know they were playing a skit, but boy, that nigga looked like he meant that. I'm talking about, because that big old nigga went off laughing when he said it. He said something about this nigga just pissed me off. I don't like it. That nigga said this nigga too big to be this loose. And the worst part is that even dancing? This nigga just be wiggling. What is that? I've never seen anybody dance like that. Do people really dance like that? Yeah, well, that nigga pop locking out his hole. Man, that nigga be pop locking with the tightest pants on you'd ever want to see. I know that nigga nuts don't work. That nigga ain't got no testosterone. That nigga ain't got no semen. You can't have no semen in your nuts tucked in that far. That nigga pants is tight. With a fanny pack on. Fag bags. Lord have mercy. Oh, that's crumping. That's what's crumping. I never knew what crumping is.
That ain't it.
Oh, that's what my man Zoe said. Nigga, I don't know.
I need some clips from that movie you mentioned a long time ago, Soul Man. That was hilarious.
You know, we watched that the other night. I cut Soul Man on just for the opening scene, cut the movie off. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't because I didn't want to watch the movie. It was late. But it popped up. I'm on the Tubi thing. I seen Soul Man. There's no way I can see Soul Man and don't watch the opening scene. There's no way. That nigga said, that nigga can't sing, hop, or skip. I had to look at that. That nigga say, you knew that was me. You looked me right in my eyes. That nigga say, I'm Floyd Henderson, nigga. Come on, man. Don't mind me, y'all. I need help.
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even see the whole thing.
I done seen the whole movie. But that first scene, though, that nigga say after I get out of this hellhole, I'm gonna take me a shower. And I'm gonna order me a steak big as your back. Hey, boy, I ain't even that nigga Lazy Eye was funny in that. All that junk was funny. You know what I'm saying? Songs of Solomon 5 and 2, man.
I sleep but my heart wake, the voice of my beloved that knock, open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled, for my head is filled with dew, my locks with the drops of the night. I put off my coat.
You know they say how his locks are filled with the what?
Drops of the night.
What you think that is? That's that Ruach. You know what I'm talking about? Because early in the morning they came out there and he was what? Gone. Listen to verse 3 though.
I have put off my coat.
How shall I what?
Put it on.
And I've washed my feet.
How shall I defile?
So what does this mean? We done talked about this before. If you don't put off the flesh, how you gonna put it back on? If you don't wash your feet, how you going back to sin? That's why he say he that born of God don't commit sin. He cannot sin. His seed remain in him. See, that's a part of the faith right there. That's how if you keep the fig tree, you can eat the fruit thereof. Come on with it, son.
My beloved put in his hand by the hole, and my bowels were moved for him.
See that go back to keep it swift. What he told Thomas to do. Stick your hands in my side and be not what? But what? What he just said right here. My beloved put his hands in the hole and my bowels were moved for him. See, he said his beloved. Thomas is one of his beloved. When he put in that, he would move for him. I believe now. He said, my God and my Lord. Could you imagine that though? All jokes aside, you gotta, I know we read it, but put yourself in his shoes in real time. You seen the man and you believed he was the Son of God. You seen every miracle he did. You heard every word he preached the whole time you were walking with him. You see him get crucified and die. You believe everything he said, but he ain't got up in 3 days. You like, dang, man. Everybody else see him when he resurrected from the dead. They tell you about it. And you like, man, I ain't gonna believe it unless I see the print of the nail in his hands and in his feet. Then he pop up on you like, what's up, what? And you like, what? Put your hands in here, boy. Now be faithful now and believe me. And you like this here. Oh my. You know what I'm saying? Like a real nigga conversation, man. You got to think about that, man. This is a flesh and blood man we talking about in Thomas. See, some people are, how could he doubt that? Because he's a man. And he was there for all of this. He experienced all of it. He seen all of it. But he wasn't there when he got up. He ain't seen it. And they telling him, nah, bro, the Lord got up, bro. We saw him. He like, nah, bro, I don't believe you, nigga. Man, you nigga lying. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember the text say they didn't know the book said he was going to resurrect from the dead. You got to realize something. People still mock us to this day about believing somebody resurrected from the dead because ain't nobody never seen it. That is the one thing that man can't do. You know what I'm saying? And this man like this here, whoa. Get it for him, man. John 20 and 25. You got my money, boy. I said, you got my money, boy.
So the other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe.
I ain't gonna believe.
And after 8 days, again his disciples were within, and Thomas
Listen,
with
it
them.
went a week past for the Lord showed himself to him. He ain't let Thomas see him for a week. Come on, man.
Then came Yahushua, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, Shalom unto you. Then said he to Thomas, reach here your finger, behold my hands. Reach here your hand, thrust into my side, and be not faithless,
But what?
believing.
What Thomas did?
Thomas answered and said unto him, my Lord and my Elohim. Yahushua said unto him, Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed.
What?
Baruch they that have not seen and yet have believed.
Come on, man. You gotta realize that's something real Thomas like this here, man. I hear y'all talking. I ain't gonna believe nothing until I see it and can do this here. Come on, man. Songs of Solomon 5:5, man. That's why faith is the most important thing. Your law say these are children in whom have no faith. If you ain't got no faith in Yahuwah, you ain't got nothing. And you know why these people ain't got nothing? Because they ain't got no faith in Yahuwah. And that's what I mentioned why I asked y'all about that church stuff, because that's what I told y'all. She said y'all were talking about that, man. That's what the church lead with. They lead with the faith for trusting in God and believing in God. And Mo Brew don't lead with that. So that's why I tell dudes all the time, I ain't coming to word like you came in the word. So that's why I don't lead with what y'all talking about. We lead with believing in God. What else is there to lead with? We lead with preaching the gospel. What else is there to lead with? I'm not leading with no Israelite. I ain't leading about no activism. I ain't leading about no revolution, no finance. I ain't leading with none of that. That's not what he gave me. Right. I remember you told me that. And they mentioned Kabah had Yahweh been Yahweh on this video today, and I was telling them like, bro, I seen Yahweh been Yahweh on Public Access TV in 2003. I didn't know who that nigga was. That nigga was in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to tell him like these dudes who you think, because he in the UK, so he don't know. These dudes that you think are a big deal, they're not a big deal. They're a big deal to people who in those circles. But when you talk about on a national scale, man, nobody don't know who Yahweh ben Yahweh is. Don't nobody know who General Yohana is. Don't nobody know who Bishop Nathaniel is. Don't nobody know who these people. When Bishop Nathaniel went on Whitlock show, that was probably the largest piece of exposure that he would ever get. And then Pastor Dow was on there, and that's probably because nobody don't know who these people are outside of the circles that we in. Huh? Yeah, I mean, because you're not in them, you know what I'm saying? You ain't on the internet with a whole lot of brews. And when I say that nobody know who they are, I'm talking about on the national level. Nobody's going to know who Pastor Dow is like they know who Creflo Dollar is. He don't have that same level of exposure that Creflo Dollar has. Ain't nobody going to know who Nathaniel Sam is like they know who T.D. Jakes is. He don't have. How's a nigga going to know who these two men I just mentioned are versus Eddie Long, and Eddie Long was hanging out with the president? Eddie Long was running with George W. Bush. So of course you're gonna know who these, and I'm just talking about black preachers. Just like you say, Yaki was on 85 South, but don't nobody know. Now 85 South is a popular podcast. You talking about Yaki Awaken, the vegan dude, but in general, don't nobody, nigga, the whole nation's not watching 85 South. All of America don't know who Chico Bean, Carlos Miller, and DC Young Fly is. Enough to where it would be that many. You already know don't nobody who they is. You on a podcast on YouTube, nigga. Don't nobody know who Yaki Awaken is. Seriously though, unless you in them circles. Dr. Sabby, and he wasn't that known. And he wasn't that known. When I say known, I'm talking about outside of your sphere of peers. Like if we go anywhere, somebody may know who Joel Osteen is, whether they in the church or not. Somebody may know who T.D. Jakes is, whether they in the church or not. Somebody may know who Kenneth Copeland is, whether they're in the church or not, because they have that level of exposure. If we get a Yaki Awaken, a Pastor Dow, a Bishop Nathaniel, a General Yohana, in general, in the sphere of American society, don't nobody know who the niggas is. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody know who. You be like, yeah, man, I listen to Bishop Nathaniel. Who is that? Oh, yeah, I'm a part of Straightway. I'm with Pastor Dow. Who is that? They don't know who that is. That's not a knock on them. That's the reality. We overvalue how known we are. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because we in circles with people who everybody knows who some of these people are. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all not on the internet with Bruce, so you don't know who none of these niggas is, who I'm talking about. But these are three different congregations that I just mentioned. Just like I said, I could mention you, yeah, man, yeah, Bowie, Pastor Bowie. You ain't gonna know who he is. I done told you, Bowie Church, man, is probably the largest Hebrew congregation in North America. And Nathaniel congregation, IUIC, ain't too far behind it. It's fourth is just sheer numbers. Man, it's about 5,000 people go to IOG in Chicago. At least 5,000. They have a massive facility in Chicago. They got congregations in LA, Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Buffalo, Detroit. And then they got offshoots. They got 3 other congregations that are offshoots of them. But it's really the same thing. And IUIC everywhere. You know IUIC over there on Edgewood. The boys everywhere. But if you was to go downtown, nobody know who they is. When what's the name? When Jaylen Brown say when they was out there, man, protesting when Kyrie got suspended for about that junk with the with Hebrews and Negroes, man, that dude Jaylen Brown say, man, he thought them were Q dogs. He didn't even know them was Israelite. He thought they were Q dogs because they had purple and gold. He didn't even know who they were. And them boys based out of New York City. Yeah, man, people don't be knowing who he is for real, man. That just be confirmation by you want to believe that you're more important than who you are. That's all. Like I say, man, that was when we went. That was in December when we rolled back. Nathaniel was on Whitlock podcast. Yeah, that was in December. That jump was horrible. You know what I'm saying? And then I think Dow came on after him. You know what I'm saying? So this is about a year ago. And you know, Whitlock got some subscribers, but nigga, Whitlock ain't nobody tuning in to Whitlock to listen to no Bruce talk. They listen to this nigga say some more wild junk out his mouth about sports because it's a sports podcast. Theoretically. But he did bring them boys on, so you got to respect him for that. And you know what the crazy part was? You remember that boy? That boy couldn't answer none of that stuff Whitlock was talking about. I don't even think he was paying. His conversation with Dow was way better than the one he had with Nathaniel. That one with Nathaniel was embarrassing for Nathaniel. It was embarrassing. It was a better conversation with Dow because at least Dow can formulate a thought. You know what I'm saying? All Bishop Nathaniel was trying to do was just preach his message and not have a conversation with the man. Dow was having a conversation with the man. You know what I'm saying? This nigga brought a reader on and all. How you doing an interview with a reader?
He thought it was a debate.
Yeah, that nigga had a reader. That nigga said, get Deuteronomy 28 and 45 for him. He said, but I asked you this question. Hold on, let's let the scriptures come out. This is literally what he was doing. Am I right? That's what he was doing.
I think he thought bro was gonna let him use the platform to promote IUIC.
I believe that. I believe that he really thought he was gonna let him do that. Dow didn't approach it like that, and I think, and the difference with Dow is because he had Robert Mathis with him, a dude that's a part of their congregation that played with the Colts, so it was easier for them to just have a. But Dow got a little bit more compunction.
But he can't clear up the stuff that Nathan was talking about anyway.
He did, yeah, but Dow got a little bit more compunction and maturity to know how to have a conversation with. He know how to slide some word in the conversation versus give me Deuteronomy 16 and 22. That's why the conversation flows better. You know what I'm talking about? But we better well stop, man. It's 5 o'clock. Hallelujah for Yahushua the word, man. We'll pick this up. Y'all willing on Wednesday, man. We'll be back in Songs of Solomon 5. I don't know if none of y'all seen those. If you want to go look at the thing, man, I don't know what's Whitlock. Man, they put Jason Whitlock and Pastor Dow. Something to pop up on YouTube. The same thing with Bishop Nathaniel, man. You know what I'm saying? That you can see them conversations for yourself. Yeah, it is 4 o'clock. Thank you, sir. No, it's 5 o'clock, son. It's 5 o'clock. You had me thinking my time, man. Went back on my. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. Bless y'all the house Elohim in the name of Yahushua, man. Who are willing, we'll be back on Wednesday. I remember it was some brews. I think Trad know them brews. They went on Jesse Lee show one time. You know what I'm talking about? Will? Hey, yeah. I don't know why y'all got up and went to talking.
Yeah, that was a couple. I forgot their name. There's a couple brews when
you know who I'm talking about, Will? The brother Trad know out there in California that went on Jesse Lee. Yeah, it was a brother from Cali with his wife. They went on Jesse Lee talking with him, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how Jesse Lee is. He had kind of got them boys frustrated when he was on there with him. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, it's a few platforms you can see. Hey, I don't know why y'all talking. Just because I stop preaching don't mean you start talking. And it don't mean you get up and move around. You move around and talk when you're instructed to do it. Do y'all understand that? Now, how many times I got to keep telling y'all that? Amen, man. You be safe out here too, bro. You know, and I'm just telling y'all this so y'all can check them out and you can see the interviews for yourself and you can decipher them how you want to decipher them. You know what I'm talking about? As forth as what you see. You know, sometimes I say the Dow conversation with Whitlock was better than the Nathaniel conversation because I don't think Dow came in to be adversarial with the host of the show. Yeah. That tried people right there, man. Yeah, I can't remember his name either, but yeah, Jesse Lee had a couple interviews with him. He done had a few Israelites on that, man. You know, with Jesse Lee, you gotta know how to have. Love you too, man. You gotta know how to have a conversation with Jesse Lee to get you, because that's when Gino went on there. He couldn't get Gino how he thought he was gonna get Gino when they was having that conversation. Because you gotta realize most of these people want to get you on these platforms to try to make you look stupid. So you gotta be on point with your stuff. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, y'all willing, man, we get up on Wednesday and go from there. I ain't never. You watched that whole thing he did with Gino? I ain't never watched that whole thing.
Yeah, I seen.